Your loss is now even more inevitable.
Attached to this tweet were decapitated heads of an anime.
This guy's threatening to behead his ex-girlfriend here. Tectone is actually a threat to society.
Pink had medical records of a lip injury sustained during the alleged assault. What does Tectone do? Confirms the injury on stream.
You can't f their mouth because it'll rupture the fucking lip filler.
Dude, that's kind of a self-report. Holy fuck. This guy is a fucking prosecutor's wet dream.
She went to a mutual friend and told her that Tectone was making her give him oral. Pink's lawyer passes the witness, and they have absolutely nothing to say.
That's fucking crazy. They don't try to push back at all at that point.
I would run the shower in the bathroom because it would be nice background noise because I know autistic people get overwhelmed. I would sit her on the floor and we would sit there for hours as I would bring out the coloring board and I would draw out the issues that you were experiencing every time you had an issue.
All right, so now I'm more convinced he definitely raped her. All right, guys, this looks interesting. It's from Shamu. We're really good friends. He's a big fan of me. He sometimes will apparently put out some of my clips on Twitter. I don't know. So yeah, man, I'm curious about it. It's about Tectone. A huge fan of Tectone, guys. Huge fan. Love the horrible things he did to his ex-girlfriend. With an S, because he seems to be a piece of shit with everybody. So yeah, let's just take a watch. Tectone's career-ending court case by Shamu. Incredible stuff. I love that. Kumbaya. Kumbaya. Let me say that for you.
It's been 8 months since my first video on Tectone covering his tumultuous and allegation-ridden relationships. Since then, a judge ruled in civil court that based on evidence and testimony presented, that Tectone likely raped,
A familial
raped, yeah.
obligated rapist.
stalked,
I'm stalking you.
and was a self-admitted oofy-doofy schizophrenic.
Yeah, he said that he saw his friend's dead mom.
I'm schizophrenic and I have a gun. I'm a very dangerous man.
If you are unaware and want to know more on the timeline
I'd love to know how much progress I lost since my game restarted.
of Tectone's history, be sure to check out my first video on him. However, briefly, in February of 2024, Tectone's ex-wife Freem was going to come out with SA allegations against him. Lawsuits in court
Freem too? Isn't Freem the first one?
Fair would then lock these allegations under an NDA. However, later Tectone's
Wait, isn't Freem the first one? Did both of them say they're going to come forward with sexual assault? I thought it was just the one. What the hell?
ex-girlfriend Pink Chu would also make allegations, which this time became public. These allegations Pink made would ignite a long battle between the two, which would end up in civil court, where a judge found that there were reasonable grounds to believe that Tectone committed SA and stalking.
Yeah, rape. We raped his ex-girlfriend. For sure, seems to be the case. What's interesting is that you look at people like Think Before You Sweep, and he said, what did he say? He said that Tectone couldn't have done it because the judge was woke and brown. The judge was woke and she was brown, and she had a history of advocacy for sexual assault survivors, so she she can't be honest. It's fucking crazy. These people are just like self-reporters to the 10th degree, man. It's fucking wild.
Pink Chu would file for a protection order on August 21st of 2025, just 1 month after my second video, and it wasn't until January 23rd of 2026
Whoa. What the hell's going on here with this black guy?
that a trial would take place with everything on the line.
They go after my family and they call me a generational rapist in front of 1.2 million people.
That's a lot. That is quite a few million people.
It's been a wild ride because I'm telling you, when I get exonerated, I'm going nuclear. I did everything for you.
Wow, it's got the Miskiff defense there. When I get exonerated, guys, I'm going fucking nuclear. It's gonna be crazy.
I helped you with everything. I fixed everything
I
for
love
you.
that.
I was
I
there
love
for
that.
you like nobody else was there for you in your whole life. I fantasize about getting the report that says your case has been indefinitely suspended.
They call him a generational rapist. Yes.
Be sure to like the video
Okay, that was a little bit of a Randy. That was funny.
and leave a comment, as it helps with the algorithm. If you want to support, you can do so with the links on screen now.
Of course, dude. I love Cash App. Very, very ethnic of you to post your Cash App, dude. We love that. We love it.
Video will look to illustrate why Tectone lost his
Are me and Caleb still on good terms? Yeah, we're still pretty good friends, man. We talked, dude, like, just, I mean, since it's relevant, I guess, I think you guys were saying this is the guy that put up that clip. Like, Caleb told me I shouldn't even bother responding to the clip. He thought it was stupid. He's stupid. He thought it was stupid. He's like, I don't really even know why you bothered responding. It didn't really seem like a big deal. Like, you just had like a fucking streamer crash out. I was like, okay, thanks, bud. I love you, you know?
this case in such a spectacular fashion by considering testimony, court and medical records, along with greater contextual evidence from what Tectone has said on his streams. It should become quite clear why Tectone lost his case. Beyond the courtroom, we will also look at
The woke judge, right? The woke judge. He lost the because of the woke judge, right? The woke left. Where did they go? Right to the judge.
How Tectone has leveraged his relationships with other online creators to defend him, issue talking points.
This is the Go East lawyer, right?
And in some cases directly attack Pink, who had just been given a 10-year protection order against him. Tectone could be seen as a use case for what not to do when accused of SA. In court, Pink had medical records of a lip injury.
I wish you would just say sexual assault, you know? I mean, on the one hand, I get it because people are anxious. You know, they're like, oh, I feel like I'm going to get demonetized, but you really won't, you know? I just feel like it's such a big topic. It's more respectful to just use the full thing and maybe even censor it after to say sexual assault and maybe you put like a blurb there. I don't know. Feels like a little strange to me, but I guess facts don't care about my feelings.
Injury sustained during the alleged assault. So what does Tectone do? Talks about and confirms the injury on stream.
You know what you can't do to women who have lip filler? You can't their mouth.
Wow.
Because it'll rupture the lip filler.
More on this later.
Dude, that's kind of a self-report. Holy fuck.
Tectone was represented by Jeffrey.
I mean, it doesn't mean that he forced himself on her explicitly in that, but I mean, he acknowledges that the situation happened. So, I don't know.
Per year, who has experience in cases involving SA and abuse allegations. On his front page, the one case that is listed in detail is a summary of a man he represented who was accused of abusing his stepdaughter. After Mr. Puryear represented him, he was found not guilty. Pink Chu was represented by Michelle L. Locke, who specializes in divorce, custody, and protective order applications. In Tectone's lawyer's opening statement in just the second paragraph, it contradicts what Tectone has lied to his audience in the past about. It states, quote, "It's true that the applicant, or Pink, never paid rent," end quote. However, during Tectone's...
Right, Tectone's so inconsistent about it. Sometimes she did pay rent, sometimes she didn't pay rent. I guess we'll never know. Oh, dude, no.
Original response to these allegations, he claimed the exact opposite.
You say that I would say, do your job, you don't pay rent. This is factually untrue.
Factually untrue, guys. It's completely untrue.
Here is you paying rent. Not one time, but multiple times.
She did pay rent. She didn't pay rent. It's all over the place. But it did seem like he had a weird relationship with her and also sexually assaulted her because he lost a court case. He lost his guns for 10 years. So that seems to be enough for me.
That is you paying rent.
He has also claimed the opposite of this as well.
It's Pink's responsibility. And the reality is that she's in my house role-playing as a goth Hooters orderer, waitress. And honestly, it's really annoying because the reality is she doesn't pay rent. The reality is she doesn't pay rent.
There we go. It's so funny because maybe she did pay rent the whole time, but Tectone just likes to throw out weird lies so much, it just makes it impossible for us to know exactly like what the fuck we're doing here. Like, what are we doing here? When you're constantly just saying things, like how do we know what's right, what's wrong? We just don't know shit. What the fuck?
What Tectone was...
Do I think that Tectone really believes the shit he spews, or is it all an elaborate grift? I don't think it's an elaborate grift. I think that there's a lot of people who are just very comfortable lying on the internet. They just don't care. They just say what they need to say in the moment, and maybe there's a level of understanding that like the atmosphere goes by so quick, or the media cycle goes by so quick, it doesn't really matter if they stay consistent because it's just about getting a take out now, and they want that take to be agreeable and with whatever atmosphere they're in. So maybe there's something to do with that, you know? But I don't think that there's anything intelligent or elaborate.
Was trying to sleight of hand here is that Pink originally was not paying rent. Allegedly, when Tectone made it Pink's job to perform oral acts on him in lieu of paying rent, she asserted that she wanted to pay rent. So Tectone's lawyer's opening statement, totally contradicting his own public response to SA allegations, is a good sign as to how this trial would go.
Can't believe Tectone lied. That's just so not like him.
Pink would take the stand and flesh out some of the allegations being made and the start of their relationship. Quote, "He told me, he said, I could change your life. I'm in OTK. I have connections.
Wait, did he really say that?
You should just move in with me. You won't have to pay rent, and I will help you, and you can try to help me. Here's some vitamins," and was like, "I'll change your life, and we'll get you better," and kept telling me that he's going to change my career.
I don't know, dude. You know, it's so funny when we talk about power dynamics all the time. People will say everything is like a power dynamic, and then I'm always like, well, the existence of a power dynamic doesn't mean the abuse of a power dynamic, right? The issue would be if you leveraged your power, right? So if you're like, hey, if you date me, somebody with like money and fame, I'll do something for you. Or if you don't date me or have sex with me or whatever, I will do something to hurt you. And now we have an example where this guy's with the cool glasses here, who was convicted in civil court of being a rapist, saying, hey, I'm part of OTK. I could change your life if you date me. I don't know. It just, it makes me uncomfortable. It makes me a little uncomfortable. That's all I'm saying. That's a little bit sussy, some would say.
In regards to OTK, the org Tectone was a part of, she stated, they have pretty much control in Austin to make and break your career.
Damn.
Whether you get invited to collaborations or get sponsorships, they also have control, and the owners own one of the largest management companies that I was also a part of at the time, or he got me into, because that was another promise he said he could do. According to Pink, originally she was doing graphic design and thumbnails for Tectone to compensate for paying rent, but this would become warped over time. Quote, I just would help him with some thumbnails, so in my assumption, it would just be helping him because I do graphic design and media, so I make his thumbnails and edited some things for him.
Yeah, I mean, listen, this is one of the things. If Tectone didn't do the rape thing, we could be more charitable. And I've said this before, but maybe he felt like that wasn't enough to pull her weight. I mean, whatever his thumbnails look like, they probably look like shit. Or not that look like shit. They're probably very simple and easy to do. So she's doing like a half an hour of work or less than a day for some of the stuff. And maybe he's like, wait, that's not enough. Or that would be fine. But again, it seems like he was beyond abusive in this relationship. And he certainly hasn't gotten any better. It's not like it's years later and they're broken up and he's like, yeah, man, I was a real piece of shit and I'm with a new girl now and I'm healthier and okay. And then in this scenario, of course, he wouldn't have raped her, but got to that one too. But no, we don't have that. He's literally in the court document, I remember, admitted that he was lying about everything.
It went from make this thumbnail for me to he kept telling me to suck his and at the time, he would tell me, do your job, you don't pay rent. And those are the words that I clearly remember.
Wow.
Okay, and
that's pretty abusive.
Soon after you moved in, did those issues begin? Pretty right away. I think once he had said that in particular, I felt disgusted and then told him I wanted to pay rent. And that's why soon after, towards the end, I believe it was the end of February, I started paying rent. I gave him $1,000. I said, I didn't like that dynamic. It made me feel disgusting.
Well, yeah, I mean, the dynamic is, I don't know, seems to be, I mean, he's treating you like a whore, right? So that can be fun sometimes, right? Your wife or your girlfriend and you get together and you do some kinky shit, that's fine. But this isn't like a little fantasy fun stuff. This is like her life. Like it would be quote unquote her actual role, according to him in the relationship. So yeah, it's kind of fucked.
What Pink Chu alleges in her testimony paints Tectone as a very manipulative person. Whenever I had complaints about how he was treating me or anything, he said because I'm autistic, my version of reality is not like normal people. And that
it's funny that the schizophrenic person is telling other people that their version of reality isn't real.
He would have to explain to me what was really going on. And you all had a journal, is that right? I kind of just started one. He had me write a list of things he said that were wrong with me that he said I needed to give my psychiatrist. And then he later graded me on the things he thinks I need to work on.
What's really fun about this camera,
what the fuck? It's so weird.
I knew
Oh yeah, didn't he do like whiteboard stuff?
it would work great,
Like he would do a whiteboard that's like, here's all the bad things about you.
right? But Pink is stupid and she has this thing called social anxiety.
And what did he say that you need?
There's probably a world where we could look at that and be like, oh, maybe he was trying to be playful, but that just sounded incredibly disrespectful.
To go see a psychiatrist for? That my memory recollection was incorrect. I believe I wrote it in my journal. I can't remember by specific.
I'm sorry, that's a funny sentence. I have a memory problem. I don't remember if I wrote it down,
I can't tell you how many times I go into something with good faith. The other person doesn't have proper memory recollection, gets confused about what they're doing, the stress of the situation gets to them, and then they say, oh, this is not the word, but they'll say things like, oh, you gaslighted me, you manipulated me, you're straw manning me.
He said I was in.
I don't think that happened. I don't think that Pink Chu said to him, you straw manned me. That is a debate term, and Tectone is more of like a debate fucking like pervert to me than Pink Chu ever would be. I doubt she ever said any of those things. I wouldn't doubt that she had memory problems and it put a stress on the relationship. But like we know who Tectone is. We see the kind of person he is. He's not a good person. He's a manipulative piece of shit who is willing to lie for money. So I would be more willing to say like, oh, maybe she does have memory problems. And there might have been some times where she was like, you know, didn't remember things. And then also I wouldn't doubt that Tectone decided that he was going to weaponize her own memory problem against her to try to get her to do things that she didn't do.
Mature, that my memory recollection was incorrect, that my phrasing, you know, he would say things and then I would phrase it incorrectly, that I lacked communication skills, that I was depressed and dooming a lot, that I wasn't a positive person. I didn't take accountability. I was not independent enough. I was paranoid and I had no emotional control. He would continue by claiming Tectone would have
was he just projecting onto her?
her write a list on paper of what she needed to tell her doctors during her online appointments.
And then I pull out the whiteboard.
Another insane thing we got out of this trial was that Tectone, when he had a disagreement with Pink or when he wanted to explain why her memory recollection of events was incorrect, would actually sit Pink down at a whiteboard and John Madden gameplay why she can't remember events clearly or why he's correct on something they disagree about.
I don't know, dude. It's just like one of those things where, you know, if you have to really come in with tremendously good faith to look at Tectone as if he's not insane here. Like, fucking sitting down with a whiteboard to try to educate your part. This is ridiculous.
Pink's lawyer says that Tectone, you actually would sit her down with a whiteboard and go over everything to convince her she was wrong, right?
I'm failing to see how these two connect, but I don't understand. What do you, in what regard? We have talked with a whiteboard before.
Yeah, and you would use a whiteboard to show her that she was wrong in whatever position she was taking, that you all were disagreeing on, correct?
Oh, if we were to have an argument, then we weren't seeing eye to eye. Visual aid really helped her as well as her to me. This was another very frequent commonality where I would have to sit down with her.
What visual aid? I mean, listen, visual aids can help everybody, right? I get that fundamentally, but like what? I need a specific scenario. Like, what's the scenario that you needed a visual aid? Sit down and what's your scenario? What's your fucking scenario, man? What is happening here where you're like, what could you possibly need a fucking visual aid for? What the hell?
And I would tell you exactly what I did. I would take her, I would run the shower in the bathroom because it would be nice background noise because I know autistic people get overwhelmed from noises. So I would put that on to calm her. I would sit her on the floor and we would sit there for hours as I would bring out the coloring board and I would draw out the issues that you were experiencing and I would help you through each and every single one of your problems. And I did this from start to finish. Every time you had an issue.
And do you know?
All right, so now I'm more convinced he definitely raped her and that the court saying that they find it very likely that he did and took away his guns for 10 years, that's even more valid. That was fucking insane. That was unquestionably fucking insane, what we just heard. I don't even know what else to say. Jesus Christ. I would turn the shower on. And I would sit down with a whiteboard. Like, what the fuck are we... What do you... For hours. For hours at a time. For hours at a time, I'd sit... Dude, that's insane.
Know what coercive control is?
Yes.
And you told her that she had memory problems, right?
I believe we have had discussions on her memory not being, you know, as sharp as attack. Sure, I'm sure we've had conversations.
Oh, is he using AI for this? I was like a little confused. I think he's using AI to like do the voice. Interesting.
Conversations about memories.
Besides,
that sounds like silly, but I mean maybe I'm wrong, but pretty sure that I'm right. He should just like put like a disclaimer of that, but.
Game planning like John Madden with Pink on how she couldn't remember anything, Tectone was also guiding her as to what medication she should be taking. Pink's lawyer asked,
how terrible is it though? Like you're in a relationship with somebody and like you do have memory problems and your partner's a real abusive piece of shit. Like how that sucks, man. Like you don't even trust your own partner.
Tectone, did you tell her what things to tell her therapist to get prescribed certain medications?
I definitely tried to help her.
I kind of get it from her perspective a little bit. Because I remember I used to be in like a relationship and like I was just a shittier partner when we first got together, but like I didn't want to be shitty. Like I have problems, I have like anger problems. I never hit anybody. Well, like in school, like kids, but I was also a kid. So I felt really bad about it. And we got to this dynamic where like anytime she said something to me like, hey, listen, this was bad, this was blah, 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 I would just take her at face value because I just like I was upset and I didn't want to, you know. And then it kind of got a little crazy, and you know, I think towards the middle to end of the relationship, kind of took advantage of that. But you know, maybe I deserved part of it. But I say that because I can kind of like fundamentally, I kind of get it. Like your partner just says something to you, and then you have to trust them, take their word for it. And at first when they were first together, they might have meant well, but then as time goes on, they could just take advantage of that and like you know, be shitty to you. So, you know, I can understand where she's coming from on that one.
Her understand, you know, try to help her make sense of what's going on in her head. You know, she wanted to tell me this is kind of happening to me, and I'd say, well, maybe it's this. I definitely tried to help her in her journey to therapy and medication.
Pink's lawyer paints this picture to the court, this controlling guy using whiteboards for hours to explain to his girlfriend why she can't remember anything correctly, what pills she should be on, and what to tell doctors to get said pills. Directly after this, Pink's lawyer passes...
Oh shit, I didn't even think of it like that. That he's trying to get her to be like specifically medicated. I don't know if that's like, I don't know. I wonder, that's just kind of interesting to me. I wonder how malicious that could potentially be if you're trying to say things or tell your partner to say things to the doctor to try to potentially get them to give you certain diagnoses or medications. You know, I mean, not to be exaggeratory, but we've seen situations where like people will drug other people. What is it called? The Munchausen syndrome? You see like parents try to drug their kids to keep them docile. I don't know. It's something to think about. Tectone's not a very good guy. I'm not saying that that is absolutely what happened. I'm just saying it do be Tectone.
The witness, and Tectone's rep has nothing to say or add on to any of this. My takeaway, and I'm not a lawyer obviously, but Tectone's team must think that getting any further clarity on these topics will only make their client look worse.
That might be the case. No. That might be the case. I mean, the lawyer, he's probably not a terrible lawyer. Seems like a scumbag. Yeah, that's what it takes to be a good lawyer. So if they really can't find an angle to poke a hole into, then yeah, just not talking about it would make sense there, wouldn't it?
Why else wouldn't there be any pushback or further questioning? You really have to admire how poorly Tectone has handled this situation, which would inevitably make him look awful in court. At one point, Pink filed a cease and desist against him. So even after going to the police, he still would not stop harassing me, and I had an attorney send him a cease and desist, telling him I had gone to the police and he needs to leave me alone. Did that stop him? No. In fact, he went public and laughed about it, said, she sent me a cease and desist for defaming her, but I'm going to keep defaming her.
I got sent a cease and desist about 3 months ago saying I need to stop defaming my ex, and then I continue saying the exact same shit that I've been saying. And the only thing that I got...
Why would he acknowledge that? He's so weird. He's such a strange little fucking freak.
...for Pink was a cease and desist because Pink sent me a fucking cease and desist to stop defaming her 8 months ago. And I've been going live and saying the same shit that I've been saying for 8 months. That's
interesting how this didn't make it into the Think Before You Sweep video. He was just trying to make it seem like, oh, he was just saying some vague things on Twitter, and like that's not anything. Meanwhile, he's on a stream multiple times being like, yeah, I sent a cease and desist, and I will not stop talking about this. Wow. You feeling good about that backing there, Think Before You Sleep? Before you sweep? You think you're feeling good about you backing this guy there, boss?
It's okay. More and more. It gets worse every day for everybody else besides me. She even has a cease and desist on me. Right? She sent me a cease and desist. And I've never stopped talking a single time. All women with big tits, she fucking bought those too. So like, it's just fucking plastic, brother. Like,
you liked that, so.
What? Like, this is a 30-year-old woman saying this shit. I had to fucking take care of her ass after surgery. All because the bitch couldn't just say things didn't work out. She got the work.
Well, here's the thing that I find so interesting is that you see like a lot of, especially like older, like conservative men, they love fake shit. Like he's dating this girl and she gets a bunch of like plastic surgery or whatever, like fake tits, and he's like, "Ugh, that's stupid," but like he loved it at the time. You know that. I think he paid for it. I think he wanted her to do it. Right. And it's like, why? What's so like, there's nothing attractive about fake anything to me. You know, I like some saggy tits. And so I think about like, what is it? What makes you think that? Like, I don't really get it. I truly don't really understand. I don't get how you can criticize her for having fake tits when you wanted her to get them. It's a weird self-report. I don't get it.
Guys, to give you even more context, I'm currently on a cease and desist by her.
Tectone would make so many subtweets and threats towards Pink that she put together an archive and list of these occurrences, which is almost 200 pages long.
Wow.
Pink's lawyer asked, and what kind of threats was he making online? I have a timeline of everything, but it was mainly, I'm going to sue you. He's also made threats that he's going to ruin me, that everybody was going to know the truth, that he was coming after me, that there were explicit material that he shared with multiple people, and that he will post them online if I don't retract statements.
I totally believe all this.
And it is almost 200 pages of it.
And don't worry, guys.
Why would I be worried?
I got something cooking for her.
Oh.
And man, Pink, you are going to love that. And now
Dude, he doesn't stop talking about her. Holy fuck. It's actually unhinged.
you've built your entire image on lies. And do you know what's going to happen when those lies crumble, Pink?
I don't know, man, because you admitted in court that you were lying and grifting for MAGA for money because you became irrelevant. What the hell?
You lose everything because you're a liar.
Oh.
Yep. And that's what's going to happen.
Crazy, because he raped her. That's what the court says. I believe it.
Why y'all think Pink don't talk about me no more? Because she knows she's
Probably because she knows that she's collecting a considerable amount of evidence every time you go live and act like a fucking moron.
Because she knows she's yep.
How much you want to bet he jerks off to her OnlyFans? Bro, honestly, he probably does. He probably like fucking hate wanks like this. You know? I believe he has a huge penis. That's why I'm saying that.
All she'll do is pin old tweets. She won't tweet anything new because she knows she's yep. Won't say which is weird.
Dude, you know what's weird here? Like, think about this. I guarantee you that he would be saying these same things out loud in the same tone even if there was nobody there. Like, he's the kind of guy who says these things out. Like, he probably has some kind of thing. Like, maybe he's schizophrenic. Maybe he's admitted that. And he probably just sits there and goes like, yeah, and he just perseverates on the thought, and he's like, I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna get you, and he just rocks back and forth. You know what I mean? I feel like he does his. I feel like this is what he does.
Because before she had all this to talk about. But man, Pink, if only you knew the shit that I knew. But don't worry, you'll find out. And what's crazy is, Pink, and I'm gonna let you know, I would still forgive you if you apologized publicly, of course.
Why? If you had such a slam dunk destruction on her, why the fuck would you forgive her if she apologized? I don't get that.
That's what's crazy.
Oh, because he's such a nice guy. That's what he wants you to think. But what the reality is I think that he knows that he's kind of fucked and he's hoping that harassment campaign works. But
you won't. And it's going to be great to see what happens. You had to say, nah, he did all that. No, I didn't. Shut the f up. Because your ass always got to cry about some bullshit. They're going to say, well, he my family. He bombed my house. He set fire to a 7-Eleven. And he hit me. It's like, just fucking shut up.
Even after Pink
what the fuck is this guy talking? This guy's a psychopath.
filed a protection order in August 2025, Tectone was still making threats on his Twitter.
They are going to hate what I found today. Your loss is now even more inevitable. Now I wait, winky face.
Attached to this tweet were decapitated heads of an anime.
Chat, did Think Before You Sweep, did he put this in his video? This is a reasonably, I understand that it's an anime meme and you could just brush it off as a joke, but this guy's threatening to behead his ex-girlfriend here. Maybe that's why they found him to be a valid threat rapist to his ex. I don't know. What else would this be about? They're going to hate what I found today. Here's a decapitated head from Demon Slayer, guys. We love it. We love to see it. That's fucking crazy. Oh my lord.
Okay, and when you see these messages that he posts like this, how did you interpret them? Like, how did it make you feel? Like he's coming after me. Okay.
Yeah, I could see why you'd think that after that. That's fucking crazy.
As he made threats about going nuclear when the legal situation between you and he ends. Yes, I believe it was at the time he was showing his guns and things.
And pretty much all of my homies, and myself included, are just like, all right, because I'm telling you, when I get exonerated, I'm going nuclear. I'm just being straight up. I am counting the days, bro. I fantasize.
Okay, and in fact, he's indicated on social media that he's schizophrenic.
Friendly PSA, if you're in a legal battle, don't send the other side of the decapitated head picture. Yeah, I'm thinking that's not good. I'm thinking that's not a good idea, dude.
And is strapping, referring to weapons. Is that correct? Yes.
Dead people can talk. That's what people will learn very soon. I know everything, and that's why they fear me, and that's why they try to discredit me. And once again, guys, I'm schizophrenic and I have a gun. I'm a very dangerous man.
Wow, this guy's a real fucking moron.
One of my suspicions of Tectone was that after being...
Bro, this is just insane. This is insane. This video is insane. Holy fuck. Bro, Tectone is actually a threat to society. Jesus Christ.
accused of abuse by his ex, he began to take on a personality as someone in the far right, in order to circumvent the audience he lost because of his controversies. In other words, grifting. And you can definitely see this change in his content as well.
Some of my best friends are trans. Because they have not felt the same pain that certain content creators have felt in this community. I mean, there's been racism, sexism, racial slur towards Asian people, which is something that I do not tolerate whatsoever.
So true, King.
Do not tolerate hate speech whatsoever. I do not tolerate anything derogatory towards any specific race, gender, anything whatsoever. To be honest, I think I'm a pretty progressive guy. People are trying to kill white people. They absolutely are. I'm going to say something that a lot of people don't like when I say this. I believe that white lives matter.
Whoa! Can we just acknowledge? I'm gonna keep it a fucking stack. Both of these versions of this guy are incredibly cringe. Both of them, because like he was grifting for the left. I think trans people are great, right? Like trans people are cool. I know trans people. I know gay people. I know black people, which I didn't. But no, I'm kidding. I know different people, but like I don't talk so fucking performatively woke. Guys, please. Trans people like me. That's what I'm hearing. I don't care if trans people like me. I don't want you to dislike me, right? But I'm not trying to sit here and fucking jerk you off and get you to be like a huge fucking fan of me. So it's just like it comes off as so fucking performative, dude.
I do.
Tectone in court was complaining about the amount of hate he got online and trying to attribute it to Pink. So when Pink's lawyer brought up his sudden...
Well, he's constantly rage baiting for negative attention on Twitter, so that's probably what it is.
...political change of heart, this is what Tectone had to say.
So if I can explain on that, when all of these things came out, I lost pretty much a large chunk of my audience, and content creators kind of have to pivot what they're doing to other topics once they lose access to a demographic. So
me when I grift?
So originally, I never really covered anything political or talking about, white privilege. But yeah, I would say my content definitely had to find a new route on how to be successful online. And so unfortunately, I had to make a little bit more extreme comments to be successful.
You didn't have to do that. You didn't have to grift for money. That's what he's saying. He grifted for money.
The career that I'm in now.
Tectone, politically speaking, is a total fraud. It's just further evidence that he is portraying a character to benefit himself. It's abundantly clear from him calling himself a progressive in earlier streams.
To be honest, I think I'm a pretty progressive guy.
To him
to be honest,
admitting in open court that he is grifting.
Some of my best friends are trans.
At one point in the...
Wow, I love that. Some of my best friends. That's so beautiful. How many friends do you have that are, I don't know, in general, what the fuck?
Trial, Pink retail...
Because most of his friends are pieces of shit. Nuxtaku, Asmongold, Mizkif at the time, Lakari. Like, we're... Who are your fucking friends, dude? What the fuck? Like, it seems like a lot of the people in OTK are pieces of shit. Not most. I don't know, all of them or anything, but I know the ones I just said enough to know that they're pieces of shit.
Tells the story of a time she went to a mutual friend and told her that Tectone was making her give him oral. Once Tectone found out, he freaked out and made her call that friend to find out what she knew and send text messages to Tectone for plausible deniability. I told her that he would make me give him oral actions, and she freaked out. And I'm like, but it's all fine. It's not a big deal. And I got scared because I didn't know if I could trust her. He then, the next day, sat me in the office and sat me in a chair. And he's like, I'm going to get on the phone. I'm going to step inside and out. And he stepped outside of the office and said, you're going to tell me everything you told her in detail, and I want to know if you're lying. And we're going to have her on the phone back and forth and find out all of the information. You're going to text me.
Wow, that's normal and healthy.
Me that you want to perform this oral action on me, or else I'm not going to trust you. Shortly after all of this is said in the courtroom, Pink's lawyer passes the witness, and they have absolutely nothing to say. They don't try to question her on this history of events whatsoever.
That's fucking crazy. That honestly is crazy. They don't try to push back at all at that point. Why? You have this whole situation where he's being accused of abusing his partner, forcing her to suck his, give him oral. We'll say it nicer, a little more respectfully. And you don't want to cross-examine her on that? You don't want to be like, hey, didn't you want it? Or something, that's terrible, but you'd expect a lawyer to do that.
Tectone takes the stand after, and the story is never commented on again. Shockingly, Tectone's team were the first to bring up the original DM from Pink, who immediately starts to recount a small portion of context in this incident. When she gives the full testimony of this incident later, there is no pushback from Tectone's lawyers, and they opt to not even bring it up once Tectone takes the stand. Ask yourselves, why wouldn't they push back on this? This is a huge claim by Pink, especially when this text Tectone's team brought forward was really the only substantial evidence that they even used in court. They aren't going to push back on Pink with this? Tectone isn't even going to say that it isn't true? Why? When Pink's
Well, they must have enough proof to say it's not true, and then they're worried that they're just going to look less credible to the judge. Because what else? What other fucking reason would you not give any pushback on that? That doesn't make any fucking sense to me. That's crazy.
allegations of SA went public, a main defense Tectone employed multiple times on Stream and X was that Pink was weaponizing SA against him because he had also been SA'd.
And to
Sorry, it's not funny, but I remember because again, that Think Before You Sweep video, he showed what the supposed sexual assault was, and it was like his sister when he was young put sand in his pants or something. This is from my video, Think Before You Defend, Tectone the Vibe Rapist, if you want to take a look at that. Tearing apart Think Before You Sweeps terrible video. But right here it says, when he was in 3rd grade, Tectone's sister tried to infect him with parasites/crabs. I think it's an abusive bullying behavior to blame him for this. They didn't do that at all. He's obviously being a baby. I don't know what the fuck that means. What does that mean that his sister tried to infect him with parasites/crabs? What did she I literally need to understand what that means. Did she like shove sand down his pants at the beach and there was crabs in it? Like, what's this? I don't know. I don't mean to be that guy, but what the fuck are we talking about here?
imply that I'm a rapist after I myself have been raped twice? It's just a little bit crazy, isn't it?
So it was
It's so terrible. I feel bad for Sandy Pants, man.
interesting that on the stand, after being sworn in by his lawyer, the very
That was actually a little crazy. Sorry.
first thing Tectone's team brought up was this incident, which was his sister trying to give him crabs. However, utilizing
I got a lot.
this incident, which was his
It was with a female family member. My female family member was led to believe that she had a thing called crabs. And, my mother was very upset at her for being sexually mischievous. So one day when she was supposed to be taking care of me, she pulled my she pulled my pants down and mounted me. That's terrible. Okay. I don't know why I Think Before You Sweep didn't spell that out a little more explicitly, because that's pretty terrible if true. That's pretty fucked up. I don't know why. Not for nothing. Sorry for being insensitive, but I don't even know if this is true. It might be true. But I don't know why Think Before You Sweep why would you remove that context? Parasites/crabs? I don't know what that means. And he says female family member. So why did he say sister? And that's possible. Damn, he doesn't even know the allegations. His 3rd grade Tectone's sister tried to infect him with what do you hear when his sister, who's probably his own age, tries to infect him with parasites or crabs? This is like weird as hell. This is like an unintentional downplay of what happened to Tectone. Think Before You Sweep is sitting here like can't even get anything right. You supposedly read everything, or why does he say this? I don't know. Did he? Now I'm fucking getting into like conspiracy brain. Where did he get this information from? Did he get this information from a past conversation or stream or past situation with Tectone? Or did he read the document? Because if he read the document, this is just this just seems to be blatantly incorrect representation. Or maybe he has a different context than Tectone's lying here. I have no idea. What the fuck? It was with the female family member. My female family member was led to believe that she had a thing called crabs. And, my mother was very upset at her for being sexually mischievous. I'm so confused. I don't know what the fuck's going on here. I don't know. Well, okay.
sister trying to give him crabs.
Maybe it was his sister.
Tectone's team brought up was this incident, which was his sister.
His sister? Was it just his female family member? How old? I don't even know. Maybe I'm just fucking... This doesn't matter that much.
Trying to give him crabs. However...
Well, I don't think that she actually had it. She was led to believe she had it. I have no idea the ages of these people.
Utilizing this when he is trying to persuade outside parties on his stream and X that he is innocent isn't very effective. Realistically, trauma tends to perpetuate trauma. There are entire academic and research studies done on this topic where early life abuse was significantly associated with many disorders, but also what Tectone is being accused of. Not that I am claiming in particular that this is a cycle, just that it's not a great defense for Tectone in the slightest.
I understand what you're saying. I don't know if the data says that. I feel like maybe I'm wrong about the data. From what I've seen about just general data is that like when you're treated poorly, you tend to not treat people. Maybe I'm fucking stupid as fuck. Maybe that was like a long time ago, and I might have heard that from Jordan Peterson. So we're gonna just omit that. I even said that. What the fuck? Okay. I mean that makes sense. I mean if like let's say for instance your dad's a rapist, it might make you or sister or even you a rapist as well. And all that trauma that's potentially onto you could, all that could manifest. That makes perfect sense, yeah.
And if you were a cynic in regards to Techie, You may even call it manipulative to use it as a defense, how he has on the internet. It is shocking how bad Tectone is on the stand. He says, quote, "I'm not going to lie," 5 separate times throughout the trial.
It was pretty important to me because I am lazy. I'm not gonna lie. And I speed. I'm not gonna lie. You know, what if I get her pregnant? And also, you know, I'm not gonna lie. And
Okay.
I'm not going to lie. I was, shortly after we broke up, interested in another girl. Pretty lazy guy in my life. I'm not gonna lie.
Tectone several times goes on
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. It's incredible stuff.
insane long tangents where he throws in information not even being asked by his own lawyer. For instance, his lawyer simply asks, "When you broke up the first time,
Yes.
did..."
There was, I want to clarify, there was 3 times. Once I believe Pink has forgotten about. There was one where Pink wanted me to try to have sex, and I swore to her that I would try. And I did, and it just didn't work. I was too afraid of committing vaginal sex. It's not a thing to take lightly. I'm not a guy that sleeps around. It's, you know, what if I get her pregnant? And also, you know, I'm not going to lie. The unfortunate reality is that I did have...
What the fuck question was asked? I'm so confused.
For instance, his lawyer simply asks, "When you broke up the first time,
Yes.
did..."
There was, I want to clarify.
Oh, he just starts info dumping. I mean, maybe this is relevant to the question, because he would obviously, I mean, to some degree rehearse this, right? So he knows the question is about to be asked. Why wouldn't you let him finish?
I'm not going to lie. The unfortunate reality is that I did have a fear of Virginias. It's still hard
Vaginas.
for me to look at Virginias. I'm a straight man, but something about them just scares me. And so, you know, when I lost my virginity, I had to even close my eyes just to kind of go through the motions. Sorry. Am I rambling? What was the exact question?
Okay. Tectone's a fucking freak, dude.
So the first time that you broke up?
Yes. Okay. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, there was the one time where she didn't get...
John,
Yes?
hold on.
Yes.
Imagine you're the judge.
Bro, what the fuck? This guy's a... Dude, he's like his own worst enemy. Did he show up to the courtroom on drugs? What the fuck was that? Holy shit. No wonder they fucking hit him. No wonder the judge was like, yeah, this guy's definitely a stalker fucking freak. Let's take his guns away for 10 years.
You were presiding over this protection order case, which includes multiple incidents of alleged assault. And then out of nowhere, not even prompted by the lawyer, the defendant goes off on a tirade about how he is terrified of laying pipe. Shortly after, a bizarre and unprompted rant about Tectone's fear of female anatomy during a hearing for a protection order that includes SA, Tectone would again go off on a tangent in which he presents himself as a philanthropist. When did she move in?
Oh, really quick. She would frequently complain about her house, and I had already flown in my other buddy Lauro to stay with me for free because he was struggling. And, you know, I don't like being alone, so I let him move in with me for free. And then Pink said that her house kind of sucked, and she didn't really have anything to do about it because she couldn't just move out because she couldn't afford it. And I said, hey, anything you need to make your life better, I'll do it. If you need money, I got you. Because there was this funny time she was in her house and she was very afraid because there was cockroaches. And so I came to my car and I speed. I'm not going to lie. I've sped pretty bad. I went like 80 and like a 65 and I got pulled over that
It's not really speeding, but okay.
night. And I told the officer, you know, what the guy says, why are you speeding? And I say, well, officer, it was for a girl. This girl that I like, you know, she's got cockroaches. And he says, no problem, I get it, lets me off. Gives me like a warning, and then I go over there and I pick her up and I bring her back to the house, and then I say, why don't you just move in?
Tectone, practically
What the fuck is happening here? This guy's like neurotic. He's like manic. This guy, he's talking about how he doesn't actually have schizophrenia. I think this guy has some kind of like mental health disorder. Not even like saying it in a bullying way. Like, I think this guy, this guy's on high highs and then he goes on like low lows. Like he just took a break because he went on a low. Then he comes back and he's on a high. And then like how long until he hits the low again?
unprompted, goes off on a tirade that in my opinion just comes off as manipulative to the court. He sort of presents himself as a hero. He let his buddy move in because he was struggling, and oh, by the way, it was totally free. Pink couldn't afford.
If only he knew having the conversation that made the cop look good for letting him off was going to piss off the woke liberal brown judge, according to Think Before You Sweep, of course. Because that's the only reason why he was hit as guilty is because of the woke judge. That's it. That's the whole reason. He didn't do anything wrong. He doesn't ramble. It's the woke judge, dude.
Anything.
He's bipolar, maybe.
And her house had cockroaches. Tectone told Pink, "I'll do anything to make your life better. Money, you got it. In fact,
I'll eat the cockroaches just for you.
You can move in immediately."
And that's when he knew he was going to be best friends with Asmongold. Guys, do you think? Wait, hold on a second. Do you think that his friend Asmongold sent his cockroaches to Pink Chew's house so that he can more easily move Pink Chew in and potentially groom her? Guys, holy fuck! Did we figure it out, dude? Did Asmongold lend Tectone his cockroaches for him to pull off this wonderful manipulation tactic?
Later under cross, Pink's lawyer also clarifies with Tectone that there was only one cockroach, which he partially concedes to. And if that's true, it just fleshes out the picture.
There's no way that there's one cockroach. You know, maybe you only see one cockroach. Excuse me. Maybe you only see one cockroach. But you got one cockroach in there, you're fucked. Also, what kind? What kind of cockroach? Real question. Like, what's it, one of those big, meaty, fucking crazy ones, or was it like a German cockroach? I feel like those are different, you know?
For how manipulative he can be when presenting this stuff in open court and trying to present Pink as destitute, basically.
Can I just tell one thing, though? I remember I had ants in my fucking house, so I got that bait that, like, attracts ants. This is a real thing. I got bait that attracts ants, and it goes into your fucking... Because they love the taste, and they die in, like, 3 days, and they're supposed to, like, all eat it and go back to their hive or whatever, their anthill, and then it's supposed to kill them. Didn't work. We just had a lot of dead ants laying around. They would eat it and then just, like, die in the house. So it just attracted a considerable amount of ants. They just kept coming in there and eating it. It was pretty fucking crazy.
While things like this may work on his YouTube audience, in the middle of a civil court trial to go off on this long-winded rant only hurts him when his lawyer simply asked, when did she move in?
Freem, I carry our marriage, and you know that.
A large portion of Pink's cross-examination by Tectone's lawyer was to single in on her previous lawsuit with Tectone's ex-wife, Freem.
Right, I'm pretty sure, didn't Tectone, like, pressure her into doing that lawsuit?
Basically saying, well, you're calling him an abuser now, but you weren't when you were trying to sue his ex-wife, which is already a pretty sticky situation for Tectone, as in the lawsuit itself, it alludes to his ex-wife on the precipice of making abuse and SA allegations against him.
Did she really also make sexual assault allegations? I didn't realize that. I thought it was just like abuse allegations. What the fuck?
Who was going to do something much worse, so bad it would have ruined all of our lives. I'm not going to say what it was that she was doing, but it was so horrific it would have ruined all of our lives.
The allegations Freem's
Sounds like a fucking Catholic school talking about marijuana.
going to make are alluded to in the lawsuit with Pink. They have also been talked about in the background for some time. The dispute between Freem and Tectone relates to a serious and false allegation against Tectone. During that call, Tectone and Pink Chew learned that Freem had a Google Doc and she was planning to release it to the public. Tectone signed an NDA with his ex-wife directly after she was about to come out with rape allegations against him. This was one of my main
What the fuck? How'd he get that? Did he pay her for that? What the hell?
points in my first video, and a thing I speculated over but was unable to get answers about. This is also fleshed out in the courtroom. Pink's lawyer asks, alright, and without going into details, that NDA relates to a lawsuit between he and his ex-wife post-divorce, right? I believe it was an agreement that they made. He told me that he had sent her a cease and desist, paid her $30,000, and had her sign an NDA to not go public. And this was right
Wow. Sounds like an innocent guy, if you ask me.
before you filed your lawsuit against her. Is that right? I believe after he had her sign the NDA and paid her, we had our spat and I sued her. Okay, and was that at his encouragement to sue her? He encouraged a lot for me to sign an NDA and keep all of it under wraps due to the allegations the ex-wife had. He didn't want those to be public. Tectone later would be questioned about this lawsuit between his ex-wife and ex-girlfriend. Pink's lawyer states, and you also, at the time of the lawsuit, you wanted her to sign an NDA because you didn't want all of your ex-wife's allegations public. Isn't this correct?
Can you repeat that? Sorry.
Okay.
Sure. We talked about the lawsuit, correct?
Of course.
And you tried to paint it that you were not involved in it. In fact, wanted nothing to do with it, correct?
I tried my hardest to not be a part of it, but obviously when Pink was worried about it, I tried to assist her.
And in fact, what
What does that mean? I thought he like coached her into what to say. Wasn't that what actually happened?
was the attorney's name that handled the case?
I'm actually not familiar.
Aaron? You don't remember Aaron?
No, I'm not familiar with Aaron.
You may be thinking, why is Pink's lawyer asking Tectone about who represented Pink against his ex-wife?
You know, I am wondering that.
Well, it's because
Did he pay her?
Tectone, by his own statements, was the one who got Pink's lawyer to sue his ex-wife. In November of 2024, here is Tectone addressing Pink after her allegations went public.
How these things that have happened in your own mind, you are now coming at me, and this just isn't cute. So, I am going to leave it at this. My lawyer is going to be contacting your lawyer. The same lawyer that I helped you get. The same lawyer that I helped you get. Because you were scared. I'm not f***ing
That's funny. Is that Aaron? Are we talking about our best friend lawyer Aaron?
around with this shit.
My intentions were to kind of just assist Pink. I mean, obviously, I think if I can toss myself a bone in those situations, I'll do it. But I mean, it's mainly just about Pink, you know, being okay.
One of Tectone's claims was that he had all the receipts, and when all this came out,
what makes no fucking sense? Why would she sue? Why would the two like girlfriends, will say, ex and otherwise, why would they fight each other without Tectone being heavily involved in it when it has everything to do with him? Doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even make like rational, logical sense to anybody. It's like fucking like just like only an idiot would believe that. But then you add in, you know, the whole fact that you know, he loves to brag. He just loves to talk. He just talks about everything. He just brags about everything constantly. So obviously you're going to be able to catch him out because he looks like a big fucking stupid doofus asshole.
he would be totally vindicated.
Will you tweet out the proof? I will at a certain point.
Eventually, I'll tweet out the proof.
I will at a certain point.
I wonder if he actually thinks that the proof would exonerate him. Like, I could see how he would be so fucking delusional that he would be like, yeah, this proof definitely exonerates me. And then he realized it doesn't. Or he just didn't release it because he's not allowed to talk about her for like a decade, right? Isn't that the whole thing? He's legitimately not allowed to say a fucking word about her. So I think maybe that has more to do with it.
Really, truly hope that you guys believe everything that is that I said. If you didn't, I'll provide proof later.
So shockingly, during
W proof, America's
the trial, after a year of claiming he had all the receipts, he in actuality had absolutely nothing.
The tweets that I pulled were kind of just like
I said, maybe he's just not allowed to release it because he's told not to talk about her. But I don't think the proof would have helped him at all. You know?
Like last second, I could probably dig more, but I haven't dug. I maybe dug for like 15 minutes.
Wait a minute. This has been on file.
Wait, what did he say?
Absolutely nothing.
The tweets that I pulled were kind of just like last second, I could probably dig more, but I haven't dug. I maybe dug for like 15 minutes.
What tweets? Tweets to help him in the lawsuit? Why wouldn't you want to do that? Why wouldn't you want to like investigate tweets that would exonerate you?
Wait a minute. This has been on file since August. You've known about this since at least your video on November 21st, 2024. And you're telling this court under oath that you only spent 15 minutes to dig up these just for court today?
Also, why wouldn't you pay your lawyer to do that? Wouldn't that make more sense? Isn't that his job?
Yes.
And do you remember getting online and telling all of your followers you had all the evidence back in November of 2024 and you were ready to produce it all?
Of course.
We also just get a
Yikes. Lying probably isn't going to help his case. This is the problem. Like, so far he lies so much in his own court, like in the court case, that they're going to look at him and be like, oh, he's lying about everything. Like, he just constantly lies. He lies about the evidence he has. He lies about the series of events. He lies about this, that, the other thing. He refuses to, his lawyer refuses to clarify certain really damning situations against him, which make it seem like he's guilty. No shit that the judge is going to look here and go like, wow, he's a fucking piece of shit. For all we know, maybe he didn't actually assault her. Maybe he's just such a dumb liar that the judge was like, oh, he probably did this because he is such a lying piece of shit and is so non-credible. But I also don't believe that because there was a ton of situations here where he was harassing the fuck out of her and gave indirect death threats to her. So
straight up admission from Tectone that he's just a liar in the court transcript. Tectone explains very plainly that he was let go from OTK over these allegations. However, that wasn't what Tectone claimed at all at the time this event happened.
Explain to you.
Well, of course he's going to lie about that there. He's to try to save face.
Why I left OTK. Why I resigned from OTK. Why I did not renew my contract with OTK that expired on November 1st, 2024. The original contract was 2 years with an additional option to extend by an additional year, thusly completing my 3 years in OTK. And the reason why I chose to not renew with OTK is because it gave me a weakness. And I realize I really don't like having weaknesses.
Everyone was talking.
Bro, holy fuck, dude. Jesus Christ. They gave him a weakness? Yeah, because you look like a fucking rapist. That's your weakness. I don't understand. Just like I look racist. Am I right, guys? What the fuck is that? What the fuck? That's so crazy. Hey, why didn't you take care of your daughter while she's growing up? Well, I realized that she was a weakness to me. It's like, what kind of response is this? I don't get it. Why didn't you take the garbage out last night? Well, I realized that it was a weakness to not take it out because the smell made me stronger. It made me a lot stronger, guys. Yeah, this guy is a fucking prosecutor's wet dream. This is incredible.
talking about it, which is why it forced me to respond, as well as the owners of my company decided to let me go as well because of the allegations.
Well, so he's obviously going to lie, and so it's what probably happened. I think the most logical thing that happened is that they were like, hey, you have allegations against you. We're not going to renew with you. And he's like, okay, I'll step away quietly, but they won't make a public statement about it. So like there's truth in there somewhere. So at the time he saves face by saying like, oh, well, there's a weakness. I don't know how he saves face because that's incredibly fucking stupid, but that's how he decided to save face, right? In that situation. But now he's like, well, that was the reason why I got basically fired. And again, that's probably what happened, you know, to some degree. But this is kind of how like law shit works, right? Like you lie, you sensationalize as much as you can to your degree, unless everything you're saying is true, which is totally possible. But the allegations probably did have something to do with it. But again, there seem to be very credible allegations.
So people were ready to run with the ball of, look at that, another streamer from this org is a piece of shit.
And you were let go?
Instantly.
So Tectone, with his own testimony in court, is confirming he lied about why he left OTK originally. Tectone from the start of the trial tries to paint the picture of Pink Chu being a whore. Totally unprompted by his own lawyer, Tectone states,
if I can add further, when Pink came to my house, it was the most forward a woman has ever been with me in my entire life.
Whoa! Didn't you say that your like sister tried to do something to you? That's a pretty forward action. I'm not trying to be an asshole, but I know he's trying to paint her as like oh, she wanted it every time because she might have wanted it at one time. That's the whole idea about it.
Tectone claims during his time on the stand that his and Pink's relationship was the most sexual one he had ever had, which I just thought was bizarre considering they never had normal procreative sex. Pink's lawyer asked
hey, listen, you gotta have that procreative sex, baby.
Tectone, have you ever also said online, after you were made aware of these allegations by my client, that you were one of the only streamers who has had a documented blow machine?
I am one of the only streamers that has had a documented blow machine.
Dude, this guy just talks himself into a fucking hole. Holy shit. I don't understand. He's an idiot.
Right? Like, I don't know why people are thinking I'm sweating that I'm divorced. Guys, I'm out here having the time of my life. It's not a large pair of tits. It's not a big old ass. It ain't a big old blow machine that'll suck your daily because they're horny all the time.
Dude, I don't know. He's so dumb. He's such a dumb fuck.
Blow machine acquired. Anything wrong? They like to bring up that I'm divorced all the time. Do these people not realize that I've had 2 back-to-back girlfriends since getting that divorce, and one of them was a self-proclaimed blow machine?
Bro, this is like high school shit. Yeah, it's a blowjob machine. Like he thinks he's so fucking cool. Holy fuck, dude.
Do they think I'm sweating anything, man? Yeah, because if I take it too serious, then everybody's gonna think that it's real. And when you're in a self-defensive mode, you kind of gotta say, you know, anything you can to save face, because when people are calling you a rapist every day, I mean, you gotta let it roll off the shoulder or make it a joke.
And so the best...
Dude, that's his defense? Yeah, I lied to try to get people to stop saying certain things, or to try to stop from thinking I'm a criminal. You realize you're in a court where they're going to interpret that as you're lying so that people don't think you're a criminal, right? What the fuck?
Best way to defend yourself is to make the other person basically a whore, correct?
I don't believe that's the best way to do that.
Well, that's what you've done. I mean,
Well, that's what you're admitting to doing, right? What?
first thing you said when you testified today was that she was the most forward woman that you have ever had in your life on day one.
I don't think calling someone forward is calling them a whore.
Really, when you talked about it, you said you like long tongues, and she exposed her tongue. You thought that was appropriate behavior?
It was probably inappropriate. That's probably what made it attractive, maybe, though. I'm just not used to it.
Do you not see that you were painting her in a particular light when you talk about these things in open court?
Well, yeah, of course. And we know that he does that because he talks about like all OnlyFans women as like they're terrible whores and they're like worthless. That's the way that he talks about women. So of course he would do that. Of course he's doing that in there. It's obviously a smear campaign.
I can only give you an accurate representation of the truth.
Oh,
if it makes someone appear a certain way, that's not really against or not really my intention.
One of the most important factors when a judge is making a judgment in these types of trials is the credibility of testimony. A judge weighs demeanor, specificity, and plausibility. So imagine you're a judge residing over this case for a protection order that entails alleged SA. The first thing the defendant does is say unprompted, she wanted to f immediately. And then directly after, go on another unprompted rant about how terrified of he is.
I heard that shit and I was like,
Yeah, but don't you think that, didn't you have to consider that the judge was a woke brown woman, right? Like, think before you sweep, guys. You got to keep that in mind. Think before you sweep, unless you're a woman. Don't think at all. Just be subservient to your boyfriend. That's all you have to do. It's incredible.
Like, damn, did the schizophrenia get me?
One of the reasons his protection order is so long is because for years now, Tectone has been telling his audience in great detail and everyone around him that he is a schizophrenic.
It's called having schizophrenia. I'm fucking schizophrenic. Wait, am I allowed to get offended when people call people schizos because I have schizophrenia? As a guy who actually is schizophrenic, as a guy who does have mental illnesses, I'm schizophrenic. I'm really bad with horror games, so if I have to quit, you guys need to understand why that is. For example,
Dude, I would not doubt that this is just like his TikTok mentality. Like, I'm schizophrenic. Like, everybody on TikTok has fucking autism and ADHD, right? Like, I would not doubt that this is his TikTok autism. But you do keep saying it. So what do you expect people to think? And you act, I mean, he has some kind of mental health issue. He acts like a fucking degenerate, so he acts very unstable, I'll say.
I'm schizophrenic. Normal human beings aren't supposed to see things that aren't there. I have lived a life where I've always felt like there were people trying to kill me. I am also schizophrenic. Sometimes I can't tell if I'm a schizophrenic or if I'm a shaman.
Surprisingly, when asked,
but he's not schizophrenic, guys, just so you know,
what he takes for this unfortunate affliction, Tectone simply responds with,
I just take multivitamins and fish oil, so nothing.
Incredible.
Kind of wanted to get a sleeve like that.
You know that he's also on test, like some kind of like test booster or something, because this guy abused steroids. Like, he admitted that he was on steroids like that. I guarantee you didn't do it the right way. So he's probably on some kind of like a couple other supplements to try to put his test back in order, you know?
But then I realized I'm schizophrenic and it might freak me out. Might make me think there's bugs in my skin.
When Pink's lawyer asked him why he is
Guys, I'm schizophrenic. I think I have bugs in my skin because I saw it in a movie.
being treated for this very serious illness, Tectone responds in only a way he can.
I guess it's kind of goofy. There's this movie called The Beautiful Mind, and so I was like, man, his is messed up and mine is nothing compared to that.
Yeah, no, the movie about you wouldn't be called A Beautiful Mind. It'd be called A Mind of a Rapist or possible stalker as well.
So, I hear people who talk to people who aren't there, but I'm just like, what's that? Oh, it's gone.
That, I've talked to spirits due to my mental illness, but...
Okay. Talk to spirits due to my mental illness. Incredible. We love it.
Here's the thing, guys. And here's the question I've always asked myself. Am I schizophrenic or am I a shaman? And obviously I'm schizophrenic.
What?
So, her face starts mutating.
Wow.
Brother, the sheer damage I would have inflicted on humankind if I listened to the voices would be insane. You should peel off your skin, Techie. You should peel off your skin. Well, if that's what you think, that's what's the truth.
Though there were trials.
Yeah, now the more I hear him talk about it, the less I think he has schizophrenia, to be honest with you. Frankly, the less I think he has it. Because this is such he's just so performative about this whole thing. Holy fuck, this is insane.
Trials and tribulations for Tectone throughout losing his civil case. Just 9 days after the trial, he would receive a miracle that cured his mind of a decades-long battle with schizophrenia.
I think it was a decades-long battle with with virtue signaling. I think that he thought that it made him seem cool and quirky, and he said that about himself merely for that. I think that's really what it was.
I have an announcement. I went to a psychiatrist yesterday.
Whoa!
And I'll try to provide some documentation of this at a later date whenever I receive it. Guys, I'm not schizophrenic.
Whoa!
Diagnosed with schizophrenia. Voices, these
we just went to church and they cured him. Right, thank you.
lies to her head must leave her in Jesus' name.
Leave her in Jesus' name. I would have said Jesus is, but maybe that's not right. Maybe it's Jesus. Jesus name. I don't know.
Guys, I'm not schizophrenic.
That's incredible.
The psychiatrist believes the reason why I see things
Probably because somebody stabbed you in the eye, right?
that aren't there, mainly, at night, is due to the fact that I got stabbed in my left eye
Whoa.
and my right eye is normal. And so they believe that my eyeballs are causing me to temporarily hallucinate things that aren't there because they're not signaling my brain properly.
He's got the ultimate squiggly line in his eyeball. You guys ever get that? So relatable, King. So relatable.
Okay, that's great and all, but why do you talk about hearing voices all the time then?
I've talked to spirits due to my mental illness. I'm schizophrenic.
Oh my God.
I get really bad thoughts in my head.
Oh.
So I was going there, unironically, and I'm trying not to get emotional. I thought there
It seems like it's working real well, bud.
actually
Not getting emotional.
might be something wrong with me. And so I was going to actually try to get medicated. They said I do not require medication. I guess I am just a human with anxiety, unresolved childhood trauma, and eyes that don't communicate too well to my brain.
Yeah. So basically, what really happened, and this is my my opinion, of course. In my opinion, it's that Tectone lied about being schizophrenic for attention on the internet, and then he needed to come up with a quick excuse as to why that wasn't actually real without him saying, hey, I lied the whole time for attention. And so he came up with this. I went to a therapist the day before court, and he was like, actually, somebody stabbed you in the eye. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So you sometimes see voices in your head, and actually, it's okay. Great. I totally believe that.
Now, I personally have no idea.
Did he go to a follow up with a fucking like an eye doctor, like an optometrist? Was that the next step to go talk to an eye doctor? Yeah, the eye doctor said the same thing. Yeah.
Where Tectone's lies or truth begins with any of this, to be honest, because the web is so massive. At a certain point, it's just a mad scramble.
Massive like Fortnite Ninja.
But here's what we know. Tectone has stated that he plans to appeal the court's decision of the protection order.
Tectone's going through some stuff right now.
This is the guy Tectone likes a lot that said that age of consent in the Western countries is a trap and you literally can't rape your partner. This is what this guy said. He can't rape your spouse. This guy said these words. Well, he didn't say the words. He super liked the comments on YouTube. Here we go, baby.
Someone actually left a comment on his channel saying, American age of consent is weird. It is made to set up men to failure with intent.
What? Do you like that? He liked it a lot, too. He really liked it. He liked it. See, he liked it publicly on his YouTube channel. It's incredible stuff. It's from the video, Asmongold's most obsessed fan has an age of consent problem. It's a good watch. So this guy is definitely a creep. Tectone has said before that he's cool and was one of the things that got him into religion. So we love to see it. We love to see it. Wow. He also thinks it's okay. Yeah. So it's incredible. We love that. Yes. Did you defend your innocence? Whoa, wrong video.
He let me know he's going to be appealing that decision.
Let me know he's going to be appealing the decision. Yeah. He reached out to me and let me know he's appealing his decision.
We've seen the courts do things that are just
woke.
That are not good.
Not good.
And what is
we just all the time? Yeah. All the time, guys. We see like they fucking let all those J6ers out there, those fucking assholes. A lot of them are predators. You keep seeing they're getting arrested for molesting children. Isn't that fucking crazy?
the first thing Tectone can do to help with his appeal? Not be a self-admitted, dangerous schizophrenic with a gun.
Once again, guys, I'm schizophrenic and I have a gun. I'm a very dangerous man.
I think the Shamu guy put together all the all the information for Pink Chip for it.
Everyone has known the person growing up that lies about this or that mental illness that they are afflicted with. I can't say one way or the other if that's what Tectone has been doing, but I can say his sudden cure of schizophrenia only helps him with his appeal. If only Tectone would.
All I'm saying, dude, all I'm saying is that this guy is an admitted liar. So it's incredible. Not really, though.
Would have listened to the masters, his elders.
Remember my dad told me I wasn't schizophrenic? I just played too many damn video games. Shut the f*** up, old man.
Well, I love the camaraderie.
Stop military.
He loves cum.
I sent.
That was a hearing about how his Tectone's dad raped a bunch of girls, well, sexually assaulted them in some capacity. Oh.
My ops to the courtroom for Tectone and Pink Chew.
Oh my God.
And I have written down notes for a 7-hour trial.
Crazy.
I have 7 hours of notes on Tectone and what he did to Pink Chew. Nice job, Tectone. You disgusting.
In a true all-time generational hater moment online, Mizkif,
I guess that is what it is. That is one way to look at it.
an ex-member of OTK, sent people to the courtroom in Travis County, Texas, for the entirety of Tectone's trial with Pikachu.
Wow, that's beautiful.
They even took video of Tectone leaving the courtroom.
Ready for this? There he is, leaving the courtroom today. The walk of shame as he lost a court case to Pink Chew. He lost. For 10 years, he can't own a firearm, weapon, or gun, and he has to stay away from Pink Chew. And has to pay all of her attorney
How's he gonna cut his chicken tendies in half, dude? He can't own any weapons.
fees, which is hundreds of thousands of dollars.
It's like $5,000 or something, or 15 grand, but okay.
Besides having agents in the courtroom, Miskiff posted never-before-seen transactions and texts of Tectone securing view bots for his various channels.
This is the bots that were bought.
I remember that. That was crazy.
This is Tectone's account, 2004,
Oh,
July 26th, quantity 1,000, quantity 750. This is John Tectone messaging the person that was buying him the bot saying, "Sad face, can you try that again? I'm
John schizophrenia, baby.
stupid and dumb. You just make an account, pay to the top
He sent out the Mizad. That's fucking crazy, dude.
right, and add it to your account. If you need help, let me know. It's good for you to do it anyway since I won't be around. Let me know if you need me to walk through it and I'll help you," which then they tried to help him with secure paying, okay? Did you get my bots? So Tectone definitely
Whoa, my bots.
needing her to buy the bots. I could only do 750, but I sent you the link to everything. Sad face, can you try again? I'm stupid and dumb. There's Tectone's picture on August 24th, paying $1,000, claiming it's the house.
Damn, guys, is this what I'm supposed to do? Am I supposed to pay thousands of dollars, like a money every stream to try to like view bot? Is that the meta? Is that the meta right now?
When it really was for bots.
Wow.
Why would Tectone pay $1,000 for a house that he owns?
If you're skeptical for whatever
It's a cheap amount of money for a house, right, guys? What the fuck is that all about?
insane reason, Tectone on his first stream back admitted to the botting allegations.
Hey, bro, there was going live on stream saying, "Yeah, ViewBot, hold up, I gotta send an extra 2,000. Have I dabbled in it? You're goddamn right. I absolutely
I
tried."
mean, I don't really care that they view bots. I feel like all the big streamers view bot. Like it's that they can look like they're more popular than. I mean, it's not even that they need it, but it's like part of the game, I guess. When you want to be popular, you want to get on the front page and blah 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 blah. So, seems to be somewhat necessary, I guess.
Hey, it is what it is. I don't do that shit more, but it is what it is.
The most common thing I heard from people I spoke with about Tectone was that he was a massive view botter. Tectone has made a lot of money streaming and a lot of money from sponsors.
Is he any bigger than other view botters?
Once Tectone leaked a $35,000 payment he received on stream.
Is
Look at that.
video?
He's killing it, man.
Oh, I did that.
What is that?
0
I did.
video?
Leaked a $35,000 payment he received on stream.
Is
Look at that.
video?
He's killing it, man.
Oh, I did.
You have money on the way from OTK Media. OTK Media sent you $35,000. Okay, got it.
Holy, what is that?
0
I just got tons of money. Holy.
So the thing is, if
Why would that? I don't understand. Wouldn't Miskiff know about that? He seems surprised. So fucking confusing. What the fuck?
you're view botting and you're getting tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars from companies to show their product to viewers that aren't real, well, that's fraud.
Is view
I guess so. I don't really know how that works. I feel like they would know that's part of like the game. Like the view botting is like part of the game in some capacity. Right? I feel like that's true. I don't know. So I don't know. I mean, are they going based off of views, or wouldn't they test engagement? Or maybe not. I guess I don't really care that much about it, but it's just I don't know.
view botting bad? It really depends on how you think about it. It's kind of like lying to sponsors as well. Do I want to feel bad that multi-million-dollar corporations are losing money? I don't really care about companies losing money, man. I don't care.
It's crazy because you're like a super Trump cum guzzler that is only cares about companies losing money and not actual people, you know, like healthcare people. Anyway, why would you admit this? Like, what are you, stupid? Question answered instantaneously. Why would you ever admit this to people? Like, why would you sit here and be like, hey, I've a view bot? Wouldn't this, I mean, maybe it would like legitimately put you in some kind of a financial situation where they could sue you and be like, hey, you view botted. We want to collect for some form of damages.
Hey, man.
I honestly am not sure if everyone can just view bot and then steal from sponsors. I'm a tiny channel, obviously, so I have no clue how prevalent this is, but it is interesting Tectone openly admits to defrauding them.
And guys,
Well, he's fucking stupid, dude. This guy's a literal fucking moron. Like, you know, if you're going to be a rapist, at least be smart. You know what I mean? Like, Jesus Christ. Thankfully, he's not, right?
I'm going to keep this vague. For a reason. Okay? So if you're confused, you're going to stay confused.
There are multiple incidents of SA spoken about in the trial's transcript. I personally don't want to get into details of all of them. However, I want to look at one incident in particular because I believe the records and witness testimony surrounding it absolutely sank Tectone and made me personally truly believe that Tectone is guilty of what he has been accused of. In late May, Pikachu had just recently been to a plastic surgeon to get lip filler done. That night, Pink alleges Tectone asked her to perform an oral action on him. She told Tectone that her lips were hurt because she had just gotten this procedure done and told him she didn't want to. He then allegedly pushed her down and didn't let go until she performed this action. It was so forceful that her lips were in significant pain afterwards, and the filler she had just had done migrated around her face.
Damn.
It was so bad that she required medical treatment after the fact, which is clearly stated on some of the court's paperwork. Maybe you were a skeptic and want to say she made this up. Well, don't take my word for it.
Oh, no, I believe her, but I mean, barely you're going to expose him for saying it.
Tectones.
You know what you can't do to women who have lip filler? You can't their mouth.
Wow.
Because it'll rupture the lip filler. So you can't even go hard. And you know they're not making their own money, so then you got to pay for another lip filler. How do you know? Man, I wonder. Jesus, bro. Like, bro, I'm telling you, like, these bimbos on the internet, they are not worth a damn.
Bimbos? You just told us that you paid a girl who you called a bimbo to get lip filler twice.
By the way, fellas, just letting you know, lip filler may look good. It's terrible because when a woman has lip filler in, they can't suck your dick as hard. Otherwise, it might up the filler. You know, it's very delicate. Like with the lip injections, you can't throat them as hard as you want to because then it'll up their filler. So it's like...
Dude, this guy's like a kid in high school bragging about sex for the first time.
They'll look really hot, but you can only go like 10% power on them. You have to be careful. Okay, so the reason why it sucks, women who look like that is because I'm like a very like hard you know what I mean? Like I go very hard. Like very hard, very fast. Like it's fine to like start off slow, but then it becomes like a battle, right? Of who can each other the hardest, right?
As you can see, Tectone quite clearly and disturbingly, with all of the context, has quite often reflected on this event with Pink, where after he...
So the only... Jesus Christ, this guy literally is so fucking immature. So now the only point of contention is, okay, we know it happened according to him, right? He's specifically and explicitly saying it, that according to him it happened. So I guess now the conversation turns more to, did he force her or not? And considering we have instances earlier of him being an insane stalker, threatening to kill her on the internet, and so many other things that make him look insanely uncredible because he's actively lying, I'm going to say that he probably... I think I believe that he raped her. I think that it's reasonable. And the court did too, because again, they took his guns away for a decade. So that's fucking crazy.
Allegedly forced her to perform an oral action. She had to go to the hospital. You know, as a partner, if a procedure has been done, it's on you to be caring and consoling, not to take advantage of them when they are in pain after an operation like this. I just think if your lips are hurting from a surgery and your doctor has told you not to perform any sexual actions, what is most likely to have happened here? I mean, you heard Tectone himself talk about how forceful he was and just how bizarre that is when your partner has just gotten a medical procedure done. Now, after going over how Tectone performed in court and how he brought really nothing new to the table, you can see why the judge found reasonable grounds to believe that an assault happened here. This incident with the lip filler would also be brought up during cross-examination. Pink's lawyer asks, okay, isn't it true that you have posted on social media that it's hot when girls have their lips done with filler for jobs?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, and in fact, you've said on social media that you can't go too hard on them when they first get their lip fillers done because it causes problems with the filler, correct?
I'm not familiar with that comment, but perhaps I wouldn't say that I didn't say that.
Okay, and in fact, your exact statements on February 5th...
You really think that he's not familiar with the comment? Do you really believe that, guys?
2025, so after these allegations were made, is...
These are so hot, but in practicality, they are the worst thing to ever exist. So lip fillers, they do make your lips look f***able as shit. But the problem is anybody who has lip fillers cannot suck worth a damn. It sucks.
Well, I guess that literal day instead of, you know, waiting. I guess that would be true, huh?
It sucks because if they suck too hard, it'll f up their lip fillers. So unless they're able to deep throat your and just let you throat f them with their mouth open, it's just not worth it. It's really not.
Is that correct?
Yeah, I became very familiar with the flaws with lip filler.
Henry Resilient, who did a great job running
The flaws with lip filler. Wow, that's an interesting way to that's an interesting way to pose that question, I suppose. Okay.
through the outline of the court documents, also made a great point in regards to why Tectone lost in court, possibly. Presumably, the doctor Pink met with after the lip filler incident testified over Zoom.
February 23rd, Pink requested that a doctor testify via Zoom on her behalf.
Oh, dude, wait, is this going to be some kind of a thing where the doctor like explicitly said to him, because he was there in some capacity, like, yeah, don't do this, and then and then this would lend credibility to the idea that he pushed her to do it, no?
Not Tectone, who saw the court docs. So this guy, who was one of the leading plastic surgeons, joined the trial to say, hey, whatever they witnessed, whatever it was, it must have been compelling enough, whatever she said was compelling enough for the protection order to be granted.
This is also backed up in the transcript when the judge talks about generating a Zoom link for a witness. They refer to the witness as a custodian of records, which is someone in court that goes on record for the authenticity of the records presented in court. So Pink's doctor authenticated the records of her injury to the court, which could have also detailed the reason the injury was sustained in the first place. And so if you're the judge and you're trying to determine what likely happened here, and you have someone claiming SA, they have medical documentation and doctor testimony that they were injured during this act, and the man being accused is talking about how forceful he is in regards to doing this thing to someone recovering from a medical procedure, what the f*** are you going to think? It really is no wonder at all.
I mean, you're going to think he did it on top of the, the fucking, like, so many other examples of shit that was going on. He's such an uncredible piece of shit. Like, again, man, I hate to harp on this, but it's so interesting because if you watch Think Before You Sweep's video trying to defend Rape Tone here, you'd be like, oh, look, maybe he seems reasonable. He doesn't. If you question any of what's going on, but then if you look at this with like so much wider context, all of a sudden you're like, wow, this guy's a fucking piece of shit. I mean, there's nothing else to really say there.
All that Tectone lost when you look at what both parties were bringing to the courtroom. However, even with the protection order served, this still wouldn't stop Tectone from communicating with third parties to mount in defense for himself against his ex-girlfriend, which, legally speaking, seems like a terrible mistake.
You can get laid anywhere with some cash, though. Viking Gnome, dude. 100% true. The Filipino ladyboys in Manila.
Right.
And
this is his best friend, by the way. This is his best friend. Go East, we call him, because he loves to go east for, I guess, ladyboys and whatever the fuck else. Okay.
Expert. You're an expert.
Go East, gentlemen.
Incredible.
Legal Mindset, or Andrew, is a passport bro and YouTube lawyer who lives.
Is this edited? Why is he fucking cross-eyed here?
in Asia. Legal Mindset laid a foundation for defending Tectone publicly, and Tectone, in my opinion, was also communicating with and sending him things such as the transcript itself.
How'd you get the transcripts? Legal Mindset magic, right? Things just appear in Legal Mindset's inbox.
And a confidential polygraph test Tectone took.
I've also got confidential polygraph results that I obtained.
Why does that matter? Polygraphs aren't even admissible in court.
That are very telling.
Before Legal Mindset even had the transcripts, he knew aspects of the case, like how Tectone would use a whiteboard when he had a disagreement with Pink.
And also, here's another thing too, and I think this does come up, is the way that people communicate with each other. So sometimes the way they communicate, it doesn't seem normal.
That's true. But also, you're a Go East weird sex pest freak that can't handle a woman with agency or autonomy over herself, and so you decide to go to like Thailand so that you can, I guess, buy pussy or wiener, because I think he says he likes ladyboys, which is not disrespectful to say. I believe they like to be referred to as that. So you just simply aren't somebody that should talk about anything when it comes to relationships.
Maybe they communicate primarily by text or whatever. Maybe it's an IRL. Maybe they do other stuff.
IRL? How old are you? Are you serious?
I think with Tectone, there might have been a whiteboard involved at some point where they're explaining stuff. Maybe that's just how they learn, right?
No, stop it. Get the fuck out of here.
Right? Maybe that's just how they intake information. That doesn't necessarily make it derogatory or negative. Or
Andrew at first tries to find a way to talk around the fact that Tectone is incapable of laying pipe by calling it a kink.
Did his penis ever touch your vagina? Never. So there was no penis to vagina that happened at all, right? It's a kink, right?
What's a kink? To not have sex? I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know if Tectone was actually like, molested by his sister or whatever. I don't really know. But the fact that he's able to like get hard enough to have sex with somebody's, mouth, but not vagina, does not make any sense to me. I don't think I believe that. Considering Tectone such a like constant liar, I wouldn't doubt that he just doesn't like pussy at all. I don't even think it's because he's gay. Maybe he just doesn't care about the satisfaction. Like he might. I honestly wouldn't doubt that he would be just such a piece of shit that like he hates women and he doesn't care about their satisfaction. It's not a factor to him. Because I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Like if you had sex trauma, wouldn't you just not be able to get hard at all? That doesn't make any sense to me. Doesn't make any sense to me. That doesn't add up to me at all.
Once again, kinks are kinks, right?
Sure.
Was it sexual? Yes. Okay. It was the most sexual relationship I've had. Well, if it was only jobs, then I will just say that that's like maybe he just hasn't had a lot of relationships like that.
If you're coochies, yeah, I'm just not buying it, to be honest with you. I'm just not buying it, honestly.
Anyways, I don't want to read too much into it, but yeah. Okay.
Then later, he claims this entire protection order with alleged SA is simply because Tectone wouldn't lay pipe, which is bizarre.
Mr. Robertson, did you ever engage in intercourse with? Her first question is about that intercourse. So all of this is because she didn't get, and I'm going to use a technical term. This is an industry technical term that I've heard from industry professionals, like my friend Sterling Cooper, who used to work in the adult industry. I think the technical term is dicked down. I think that is the professional term. I think that's a legal term.
Right. So he's trying to say that she was so upset that they didn't have sex that she made up a lie about how he raped her. That's what he's saying there. Okay.
So because she did not get dicked down, it appears that is what this is about. And the fact that the lawyer...
no, it's establishing a pattern of like lack of potential respect here. Because if you're not having vaginal intercourse and you're not going down on your partner, because I believe that's another thing he wouldn't do, and you're only getting like one-way sexual gratification, it starts to paint a picture of not respecting your partner or caring about their satisfaction or pleasure. That's what it's actually doing here.
Led with that shows that that's the impression she wants to give.
No.
This is the first question. I'm gonna highlight you guys. The first question she asks.
When in the transcript, Andrew is confronted with the clip of Tectone confirming the lip filler incident when Pink had to go to the hospital, instead of explaining to his audience why this is disastrous for Tectone in his case, he just glosses over it and calls it a mistake.
So after these allegations made as lip fillers, they do make your lips look full of shit. But the problem is anybody who's had lip fillers cannot suck it worth a damn. It sucks because if they suck it too hard, it'll fill up. Up the lip fillers, is that correct? So he said that. By the way, okay, Tectone, this is pretty stupid, but saying lips look full is not a sin, but you should just like not criticize people's sucking ability so much. I don't know. Anyways, this was not a smart tweet, probably, but whatever. Let's continue.
Probably not a smart tweet. Why? Why? Because you shouldn't talk like that about women. You clearly don't care about that. Because he knows that it makes his court case look bad.
Again, Tectone here is confirming the injury that Pink sustained during the act. Legal Mindset basically paints Pink as mentally ill and runs all the stops as trying to paint this as a Johnny Depp Amber Heard situation.
That's their fucking go-to, dude. Johnny Depp Amber Heard really did have like just damaged everybody, the whole situation. Now anytime some fucking, and by the way, I don't think Amber Heard's a victim, but now every single time that there's like some kind of an abuse situation, it's like, oh, Johnny Depp Amber Heard, that's just their go-to,
Apparently she's got, according to her own confession, some issues she's dealing with, some trauma, maybe some mental health stuff. She has bipolar and BDD. Yeah, I mean that'll do it right there. But when Pink was worried about something, it consumes her. Sounds like she has really bad depression too. And
you like how he has this tone on where he's like, oh, it sounds like like he's trying to make it seem like he's trying to be nice about her or to her, but what he's really doing is he's just trying to set the stage for you to like invalidate all of her claims because she's quote unquote crazy. That seems to be more of the case. That's what it seems like to me that he's trying to set up.
The important thing here is we are in a post-Depp world. There's a lot of Me Too cases that end up absolutely destroying men based on the laws in the West, but Depp versus Heard.
The laws of the West. That might be true. Never going to listen to a Passport Bro talk about this.
Is when I blew up. So I'm treating this like Depp versus Heard. But in a post-Depp world, we cannot take Me Too at its face.
It's ridiculous.
Andrew talks out of both sides of his mouth, claiming that he is the only objective person who can cover this, while also making it clear he is doing this as a third party because Tectone is unable to.
I'm going to be the only person to cover this kind of objectively and that can cover it. That's the point here, is that Tectone cannot.
I'm doing it for Tectone, guys. I'm objective. I have no skin in the game, and I don't care about Tectone at all. These guys are part of this weird older man threat to women fraternity. Like these are guys who I don't even know. These are the nerds that couldn't get into the fraternity, but they thought it was really cool when women got like drugged and I guess raped. And so they decided to design their personality in a way that would be charitable to them in some capacity. I'm not saying any of them have done that. I'm just saying, what the fuck? What the fuck are these people? That's the only point that I'm making here, because this is fucking insane.
Say these things, right?
They just have this like weird, like creep energy,
and cannot actually move against her publicly, right? So he can't defend himself. Wow. So a lot of people out there are saying, Tectone, defend yourself, defend yourself. He can't. He can't
so I'm going to do it for him.
Do anything. He can't say anything.
Didn't this guy get like the leaked court information with like uncensored information? Doesn't that make Tectone look worse? Couldn't Pikachu use that in court if he did try to appeal?
Right. That's a big factor here as part of my analysis, is that Tectone can't fight back. So this is.
I feel so bad for Tectone.
That's why he will not cover this. So this is why you need an objective person covering it, and he will not be covering this. He cannot talk about this, guys. This is the point. The point is Tectone cannot defend himself. And
Tectone, no.
To be honest with you guys, once again, if I'm going to disclose my bias, and I do have a bias here.
Wait, really?
Like Tectone. And I'm not going to pretend that I don't like Tectone and I don't like the content he covers, and that some of my bias is towards his defense.
No shit. Guys, I'm unbiased, but some of my bias runs towards his defense.
Listen, the language of this protective order says he cannot do anything to harass or annoy her. So even releasing documents can be seen as harassing or annoying. So Tectone cannot release this document, right? Now, Legal Mindset is not Tectone.
Whoa, he's a cool guy.
So I can do what the I want to do.
The other aspect to this is that Legal Mindset refused to redact any information such as names and addresses, which docs Pink. The after events of the protection order ruling was a total shit show. Every document that was supposed to be private detailing Pink's essay and home address were leaked originally in Tectone's Discord. The person that posted it found a workaround in the coding of the government site that allowed you to access the files. I actually emailed Travis County because I was wondering if this is what happened, and it turns out that it was. And hours for me emailing
So somebody kind of hacked it? Is that what I'm hearing?
County, the file's accessibility was shut down. Pink actually had to move because of all this, and she actually responded to Legal Mindset on Twitter, claiming this is the, quote, lawyer, Legal Mindset, who posted unredacted leaked documents that were meant to be sealed live to thousands of people to dox me, putting my family in danger.
Wow. She should sue the fuck out of him. I mean, she already won one lawsuit. Go for it.
Then pictured is a tweet of Andrew hitting on Pink, which is sort of the more white trash aspect to this, I would say.
As a future Secretary of State, I would approve the attractive female visa. We will call it the double D visa. Of course, I will need to do regular in-depth reviews of applicants to ensure the administration are properly doing its job. May need a long PP for this one. All right, dude. Okay. You know, I don't really want to get comfortable saying that people have rapist energy, but I mean, when you're defending a fucking Tectone vibe rapist over here and releasing information that's supposed to be private, doxing a sexual assault victim and a victim of being stalked, I don't know. It's kind of interesting, I suppose you could say. Jesus Christ, what the fuck?
I would say, you know, Legal Mindset is trying to sweep it up and give an incredibly biased reading of a case where Tectone is accused of SA. and then going on Twitter and hitting on the alleged victim. And he's actually done it more than once.
Monster Energy added Exhibit A to Tectone appeal was not on my bingo card. That's a nice choker. Wow. Okay.
When I pointed out to Legal Mindset, it wasn't the transcript, but the court files that had leaked due to a bug Pink was upset about. He both blocked me and hid my reply.
Sounds like that kind of guy that would do that.
Anyways, beyond being a dishonest degenerate, I did feel there was an oddly poetic moment during his coverage. While trying to obviously work with Tectone to fight against his ex-girlfriend who now had a 10-year protection order, Legal Mindset very suddenly breaks down into tears.
I'm gonna fucking cry here, you know, because it's hard to do this. It's hard to do this. Hey, appreciate you guys. I gotta lock in. I love you guys. So look at me. People are gonna make fun of me. Be like, look, Legal Mindset crying on stream. I don't give a shit.
So pretty simply,
I'm not understanding why is he crying. Is he crying because he's harassing a woman who Tectone raped, that caused him to lose his guns for 10 years, and then he like doxed her and sent harassment towards? Is that why he's crying? While he hits on her on Twitter? Which one? I'm just so confused. What's happening right now? What the fuck is happening?
What you have is
This is so strange.
Tectone, who just got a protection order by the courts, working with and sending things to YouTube lawyers to then release that information and fight back against her in the public square. Tectone and Legal Mindset didn't always get along. In fact, Tectone quite disliked Legal Mindset, who used to refer to Tectone as a 39 IQ buffoon.
People
really
like Tectone have lost reality with like the real world and how things have to be in a contract. Like, I mean, caveman smash guy over there. 39 IQs in the chat for Tectone. So now Tectone, I guess, is going to say something dumb. Wow. These people are just
What changed? What made him such a cock? What happened?
dumb. Like, are they not thinking about the reality of how these things work? So I don't want to keep you guys awake too long. I think we've seen enough of losing brain cells. 39 IQ takes for the night. But yeah, this is pretty bad.
Wow, he's kind of based here. What changed? Is this before or after he went east?
I really don't give a about this Legal Mindset guy. I really don't. Like, I mean, I could pretend that I do, but I really just fucking don't, man. I will admit, I think Legal Mindset's a very dangerous creator because a lot of people
dangerous. What the fuck?
Will take what he says far too seriously, and he's really missed the mark when he was talking about me, and I think that's very dangerous.
Really missed the mark, huh? Oh, hi, Mark.
There's people hold your word to such high degree, and then you go farm and you just get some PR dunk points. I think that's very dangerous.
And obviously, we got the VTuber Cinder. So if you know,
but I have just such a bitter taste in my mouth ever since he attempted to me.
That's crazy. I think that's exactly what your ex-girlfriend said when she sued you and then won because you raped her and stalked her, and then you can't have guns for 10 years. That's fucking incredible. We love to hear it.
Over some bullshit. Yeah, I kind of just take everything he says with a grain of salt.
Once Tectone's legal issues began closing in, he did a total 180 and began glazing Legal Mindset to such a degree it would make Thai ladyboys blush.
I highly recommend everybody watching this video right now go subscribe to Legal Mindset and support the original channel as well. I just like getting informed on everything, and obviously pretty soon I'm going to be getting very involved with the law, and I want to make sure that I am ready to dissect my enemies.
Was he going to be an ICE agent? He would. He's the type of person that would love to abuse power like he abuses sex.
Not only was he glazing, but leading up to his legal issues, he was also speaking with Mindset frequently.
Which, by the way, I've been talking to Legal Mindset quite a lot. He's a very nice guy. Believe, and I'll have to ask Legal Mindset, Legal Mindset, aka the sexiest man on Twitch. God, bro, look at him.
He's into dudes. He's into me. He keeps hitting on me, right? It's a little bit uncomfortable, right?
Just a few weeks later, Pink
These people are fucking so weird.
filed her protection order against Tectone on August 21st.
So they bonded over the fact. I don't understand why they bonded. Like, why did he used to hate him? But why did they bond? What happened? What is like, what the fuck is happening here? I don't get it.
Here's Tectone 4 days later.
Legal Mindset is one of the greatest gifts to content creation in the past 3 years. One of the best channels on the entire platform, and I stand by that. Side note to you, Legal Mindset, you have now broken into my 5 favorite content creators to watch. I was even watching your YouTube live stream this morning. Amazing streamer, amazing content creator, a brilliant mind of the legal space.
Brilliant mind. Oh, I think I understand this one. If I'm not, and I might be mistaken, but this seems to be the stream where he's talking about Hassan. And it was like a weird, deranged crash out. like from legal mindsets position.
Love this shit.
Just 1 month after Pink got her protection order, Tectone got legal mindset signed to Mythic Talent.
That's fucking crazy.
This. So of course I joined the talent agency.
Why is Mythic accepting these fucking freaks? What the fuck?
Mythic, and this was put out on September 27th, so it's 3 days ago, which was really awesome. Big thanks to Tectone for helping me out. He actually got me in contact and let me get in contact with the leadership, the CEO, the COO. It was really awesome to meet them and to talk about them.
And one of the things I'm not even sure was very well known was that Tectone was a creator behind Mythic Talent.
And then Mythic Talent was an organization that I created with some peers from another company called AFK, where they were actually, not being too kind to their employees. And so I took some of their employees and made our own ad company to bring money to creators.
You can send this to whoever the fuck wants to hear it. So I keep on being told, and this is real, by the way. I've seen this comment so much. I keep on being told that legal mindset is like incredibly biased and in my favor and will defend me to the brink of death because I got him into Mythic Talent.
That would make sense. I mean, if you gave him a bunch of money so that he can purchase more ladyboys.
Me personally, it just seems like Tectone courted legal mindset leading up to his legal troubles, and once the protection order was served, used his connections in the industry to prop him up and scratch his back, which would inevitably lead to Mindset's absurd defense of Tectone once the trial results came in.
Well, this doesn't really help his case very much, Tectone's case, because before we were talking about power dynamics and how he kept saying that he could like build up Pikachu. And it seems like he's very quickly willing to do favors for people or kind of like kind of abuse his power in some instances. I mean, you could hire somebody you like or help him out. I'm just saying, for this one as a pattern of behavior, he's saying like, oh, date me. If that's the case, date me. Please, I'll make your life better. You know what I mean? I don't know. Seems like an abusive power dynamic there. This would seem consistent with that behavior, even if this isn't an abuse in a case, but it does seem compromising.
And getting legal mindset on his side and hired to Mythic Talent may have in fact been a strategy.
I'm glad we have people like Sensitive Society and WestJet.
Other content creators who have collaborated and been on Tectone's podcast also covered this story, such as WestJet and Sensitive Society.
Was Sensitive Society in the favor? Is Sensitive Society in favor of fucking Tectone? Is this guy serious?
I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys and conceal my bias. I
could see WestJet because he's a complete fucking moron from everything I've seen from this guy. Like, he's just dumb. Like, even when he's right, he's just incredibly fucking stupid. But Sensitive Society, really? That's actually kind of unexpected.
Tectone to be innocent. I like the guy. I don't want him to be a but at the same
Why would you like the guy? What?
time, I'm not going to sit here and carry water for Tectone and a girl with information I don't have, calling her a liar and stuff like that.
I mean, I guess at least that's nice that you didn't jump the gun and decide that she was an instant liar. I guess I could respect that, even though there's no reason to like Tectone, so you're a fucking creep, but okay.
Because I'm friends with Tectone, I guess it's time the elephant in the room gets addressed.
You're friends with Tectone? Dude, these people are fucking freaks. What the fuck?
You guys know me. I like to keep it 100 with everyone. And of course, it's no secret that I like...
You liked Tectone before? I don't know what he said about this, though. What the fuck?
Like Tectone, I've talked to him. He's been nothing but kind to me. A few months ago,
he deleted his video. Did he like apologize or something? Maybe I'll watch that later and put it on like the leftover channel or something.
He invited me onto his podcast.
So they state their biases in the video. Wow. However, for large portions of both of their videos, simply had legal mindset giving the most absurd takes on the case.
They're almost trying to paint him in a way, if you know what I mean.
Never actually engaged in traditional intercourse. It was only he received blowjobs. There was never any reciprocation. So they're literally making a case that because he didn't have sex with her, this is abuse.
No, that's not the case they're making at all. I think he knows this. Either that or he's intentionally trying to sweep at the expense of his credibility as a lawyer, or he's just a bad lawyer. I don't really know which one, but probably both.
Right. So
right.
I just want to make it clear here that there's an argument here that really the problem is they didn't
Now, thankfully, YouTube lawyer made a video about this a day ago, explaining everything.
He approached this very innocently after he was betrayed in a relationship, which Freem cheated on him. In fact, all the communications I reviewed show Tectone as a
I don't remember any of that cheating stuff.
Reasonable, kind guy. Don't say. He says, I will never understand how much this must hurt you, but proud you're fighting through it. And this is not the language.
This is a random tweet Tectone made in 2023 when he and Pink were dating. Wonder where he got this random post from. I'll never understand how much this must hurt you, but proud that you're fighting through it. What the fuck is this?
I would see of an abusive partner, someone who's hurting or someone who's out there to get somebody, but someone who really.
What is this? I have something called PMOD, premenstrual dysphoric disorder, and I'm currently being treated for it, so I'm in a lot of pain. My emotions are really bad, just like feeling depressed, even if I don't want to. So on stream today, it was really, really rough. Really trying. Okay, I don't know what
really
this has to do with
genuinely
anything.
wants to help. And it seems like this may be a case of what you call buyer's remorse in dating.
Buyer's remorse?
Where you go back and you say, okay, well, now that I'm out of this, this is a situation where it was buyer's remorse. I regret things I did, or I regret stuff I did, even though it was consensual at the time. And unfortunately, as I got to report to you guys, the U.S. legal system weaponizes this. It allows people to go back, regret things, and then go get protective orders, go make claims in the future when all of this should be dealt with privately.
My problem with both of these videos is that,
well, I mean, how do you deal with it privately when he won't? Tectone literally won't stop talking about shit publicly. Tectone's the one that's going public with everything. He won't stop like harassing her online. How would she deal with any of this privately?
if you're going to talk about this case, then people should actually know some of the damning things within it. Because you aren't talking about how Pink, while recovering from an operation, was injured, that there is medical documentation to back it up, and that Tectone himself has openly stated that this event happened, and you just have Legal Mindset on screen talking about how the problem actually is that Pink wasn't getting then that's sweeping. I think it largely helps Tectone from people that have collaborated with them. It also seems like at least WestJet had some idea that Tectone was just working with Legal Mindset.
Genuinely don't.
Well, they were all just I guarantee you that they're just like, well, Legal Mindset saying something, and I think he's super reputable. That's their take. So yeah, you know what? That must be true. And they were just eating off of his shit. And then when they realized that his shit was wrong, they're like, oops, that's fucked. And they apologized, you
know how effective polygraphs are, but it is interesting how Legal Mindset even got this confidential file in the first place.
Sensitive Society would actually issue an apology for his video.
His opinion, the only people that I care about is my audience. And if you feel let down by my video on Tectone, I do apologize for that.
We got to find the first video and the second one. I want to take a look at it.
100% false on me. I think I should have done a better job covering the situation. Maybe not be as biased.
And shortly after would take down both his apology and the original Tectone protection order video he made.
They call him a generational rapist. Yes. When you have people that are spreading, at least from his perspective, the court case is not finished. And so I do know more about it than the public. And also I remain to be Tectone's friend, and I support Tectone. You can take that for what you will. So,
yeah, I take that as you're a rape apologist. That's what I take that as.
Oh, as somebody who knows,
nobody ever would have thought that, by the way.
Knows more about this than the public, I think that when he comes back, all of this is going to make a lot more sense.
It does. He's a rapist. At least that's what the court said. Makes a lot more sense.
Certainly say that. So don't worry about it, guys. Tectone will be back. It's not going to be a big deal. Everything's totally fine.
Asmongold supported Tectone and frequently alluded to Tectone's innocence and knowing things the public didn't. However, once Tectone lost his case, this was his reaction.
Streaming is just, it's so toxic, man. Tectone is a civil case. Based on a lawsuit that I'm in right now, I don't want to make any comments on it.
Streaming is toxic. This guy's talking about how much he loves Nick Fuentes, like today, and that's why he won't have a debate with him about Iran and why we shouldn't be there. Tectone thinks we should be there and loves to come guzzle our pedophile in chief, alleged, only because he won't release the Predator files, the Epstein files, the full client list he promised he would, probably because he's on them. So what are you talking about? Streaming is you are the toxicity of streaming. This guy's like not self-aware at all.
Just for the sole reason of because of that lawsuit. Wow. If it wasn't for that, I would have talked about it a lot.
So Asmon has this lawsuit with Mizkif. However, many people covered the trial's fallout, and it really doesn't prohibit him from
talking. No, he just doesn't want to talk about it because he doesn't know how to sweep. He doesn't know how to sweep that the court has decided Tectone is a rapist. He is a credible rapist, stalker of his ex-girlfriend on multiple occasions, putting up weird tweets about fucking insinuating killing her, like beheading her. The hell, like that's what it is. That's why Asmongold won't come forward and he won't say anything positive about Tectone, because there's nothing he could say that makes it look better, and he won't say anything negative because he doesn't care that he's a rapist. He likes Donald Trump. Like that. What else do I have to say? What else is there to say? Holy fuck.
Talking about Tectone's case, there's no reason to include Mizkif in this.
Maybe all of my friends are just, problem boys, right? Because I have tons of friends that have like felonies and they've been in jail and everything. And so, I guess for me, it's not that big of a surprise. I don't really care or want to have anything to do with other people's drama. I just don't give a shit about it. Like, I don't.
He doesn't care about other people's drama? How much do you want to bet if you just go to Asmongold's page? It's all about other people's drama. That's what he does. That's what I do too. What is he talking about? Dude, he's such a... This is what I'm talking about. It's just the first thing. It's just the first thing that comes to their head. Is the first thing he's going to say. The first thing that comes to his head is what he's going to say. These people have no actual moral convictions. They just say the first thing that comes to their fucking brains. That's literally it. That's all it is.
Don't want to talk about it, explain it.
Basically, Asmon just took the cop out. Tectone's lawsuit has nothing to do with Mizkif whatsoever. And in reality, it's just a bad look for him as someone who has been defending Tectone leading up to this point where he is then found civilly liable for SA.
This is a whore. Some people in the chat said don't call her whore. You know, what do you mean? She's a whore. Tectone, you dated a whore. It didn't work out.
Nux Talk.
Yeah, Nuxtaku, the guy that's a threat to children who made a NSFW Discord channel for a 14-year-old boy that he most likely knew was 14 in his private Discord that you have to subscribe on Patreon. He made an NSFW channel for that little boy, and that kid got bombarded with a bunch of NSFW content. Some of it was gore and other things that significantly distressed him and caused him to drop out of high school. And of course, though, Nuxtaku, the guy who was sending him most of the stuff, he had him on his podcast. He thought he was a funny guy. So, yeah, all these people are fucking pieces of shit.
Is another creator who, after the court's decision, defended Tectone, obfuscated aspects of the case, and attacked Pink or Tectone.
You can hear the song that he's playing.
Nux recently was exposed for...
He's only doing that because Nuxtaku is Jewish.
Having a minor in his Patreon Discord who was groomed with explicit adult material and walked through the best ways to do SH. There's really no way to get around that this event...
Suicidal harm. Yeah. Like these people were talking about... Like encouraging him, so you can see it on screen, encouraging him to take his own life.
Happened as everything was archived. Nick Andros has a video on the topic and you should check it out.
Yeah, it's a really good video.
However, I just wanted to illustrate how these people work and how these absurd defenses go both ways. You scratch my grooming back, I'll scratch your rapist back.
Yes, absolutely 1000%.
It's like Nuxtaku completely obliterated all of the allegations that were thrown his way in the matter of 5 minutes.
I watched their conversation. I think I called it a threat to women and a threat to children walk into a bar. Because it's kind of true.
It was always really fun. I mean, the amount of people were like, you need to denounce Nux. You need to denounce Nux. I'm good, bro. I love Nux.
It's also worth...
Yeah, why would you denounce Nux? You have no credibility. Nobody expects anything of you. You're worthless.
Noting this isn't the same as someone just ignoring a controversy, let's say. Some of these people are actually...
They had a fun chat afterwards, guys.
Trying to obfuscate and dishonestly represent aspects of these stories in an attempt to benefit themselves and the person they are subverting for. Think Before You Sleep, I would say, had the most insane video on the topic where...
Oh, absolutely. Think before you fucking sweep, dude.
Every subject is missing a ton of context, and it's all in service of attempting to help Tectone.
1000%. 1000% though, dude.
First 2 minutes, he just talks shit about Pink and calls her a catfish.
I mean, this is an insane amount of catfishing. I'm not even looking at the same person when I compare a live stream to a photo of her.
Dude, this is what I'm talking about. These people are so fucking... They're so weird. He just hates women. Look, she wears makeup sometimes. Catfish. It's always the motherfuckers that don't show them their faces on the internet that talk about how women are catfishing. And what's funny is that she looks better on the left side, in my opinion. The right side looks like a cosplay. Looks like she's cosplaying as like some kind of gothic thing or something. It's so fucking strange, these people. They're actual like fucking babies, dude. Holy fuck.
He does bring up the lip filler incident, but pretends there isn't medical documentation or Tectone talking about the incident on his stream several times.
Anyway, Pink Chu said that she had just gotten lip filler, and Tectone had forced her into oral sex, which had ruined the lip filler. Geez, another plastic surgery related incident? Do all of her allegations have some sort of plastic surgery involved?
This guy's a fucking freak, dude.
Now, is there any corroborating evidence that this happened? Not really.
You know what you can't do to women who have lip filler? You can't f their mouth.
Wow, that's definitely not corroborating evidence.
Because it'll rupture the fucking lip filler. You know, it's very delicate. Like with the lip injections, you can't throat them as hard as you want to because then it'll fuck up their filler. So it's like they'll look really hot, but you can only go like 10% power on them.
He feels like a cool anime guy right now. I can only go 10% power. I can only rate my partner with 10% power right now.
Like a very like hard f***er. You know what I mean? Like I go very hard.
TBYS.
He's afraid of vagina though. His words. He's afraid of eating vagina or having sex with it, but he fucks real hard. He's such a cool guy. fuck so hard. Like, even if he wasn't a rapist, he's just worthless. He doesn't even satisfy his partners. He doesn't even care enough about them to like make them come. I don't know how to communicate this to like the children that love Tectone. That's pathetic. Even if you have some kind of trauma that makes you not want to have sex with vaginas like he claims. Wouldn't you want to like touch it, try to make your partner feel good? You had a completely one-way sexual relationship? That's insane.
Throughout the video explains that he believes the protection order is actually a grand conspiracy by Hassan Piker and his lackeys.
This whole situation was a coordinated effort from multiple streamers to ruin his career.
Multiple streamers to ruin his career.
Hassan Piker has this ongoing war with Asmongold, probably because he's mad that Asmon is more famous than him.
Maybe, who cares? They're both bad. And you want to know what? Asmongold's 10 times worse. I'll take Hassan any day of the fucking week. It's like, it's so boring. They're like, well, Hassan is bad, so my rapist friend and lolicon loving friend, they're okay, and my white supremacy loving friend, they're cool, because hey, Hassan is cringe. So basically, being some kind of a predator, that's kind of chill. Okay, great stuff.
Hassan likes to sit back and have his little lackeys do all the dirty work for him. This is a famous tactic of his, and he primarily works by not directly saying that he has certain values.
Bro, every fucking day that these fucking freaks like Think Before You Sweep for rape and Rape Tone and Lollynux Taku and fucking somehow white supremacist Asmon Mold, every single day that they talk shit about Hassan, somebody I absolutely dislike 1,000%, especially since he fucking is annoying and purity tests me because I don't like communism. I guess wanting universal healthcare, and other things. Banning the ability to fire workers if you're profitable just for AI and whatnot. That's not enough. I'm not good enough unless I love communism. But every single day that they talk about this guy and they do the Hassan bad game, makes me like Hassan more, just by extension. Like, that's just what happens. He's like, what do we like? Shut the fuck up. You guys are like, well, he shocked his dog. You guys, your president's a fucking predator. He won't release the client list. Why? Probably because he's on it. What are you talking about? He threatens to attack other countries. He uses crypto to fucking his crypto meme coin to make $3 billion while he's president, and then have one-on-one conversations with fucking business owners where they can get stuff from him. What are we talking about here? He just bombed Iran to distract from the Epstein files and to defend Israel, even though we have no reason to do that. But you're gonna cry that this guy abuses his dog? Yeah, I know he shocked his dog to keep it in the corner as a stream prop. That's not good. But you guys can't criticize Hassan and then like sit here and cum guzzle fucking Donald Trump. It actually is insane. I don't even know how you do it. It's fucking wild. It's fucking wild. Hassan is a saint compared to these people. It's ridiculous.
But he will signal boost all the people who have the values that he wants to promote by watching their content on his stream.
Whoa, crazy.
That being said, Tectone is friends with Asmongold. Hassan wants to attack Asmongold in any way that he can, so I think his lackeys came up with a plot to destroy Tectone. They do this a lot.
So what are we trying to do here?
He's trying to say that it's a conspiracy that Tectone's a rapist.
Well, with absolutely no evidence, TBUIS wants to impress upon his viewers that if you think Tectone raped, think again, because this is actually a plot from Hassan Piker, who's pulling the strings in the background. It's so absurd to me that anyone would try to use Hassan Piker as a shield from being found liable in civil court for SA, someone who has literally nothing to do with this protection order between these two people. And really, it should be an insult to the intelligence of someone's fans to even try to push something like this, but here we are. Tectone behind the scenes was sending streamers this video and told them it had been in the works for a long time.
For a long time? What?
And I know there might be some people thinking, oh my gosh, does Techless even want you to watch this? Yes, he asked me to watch this, so yes.
Who's this guy? What the fuck?
He's told me this one has been in the works for a while.
So, yeah, by the way, the biggest part of the Think Before You Sweep video here was the judge was wrong because she's a woke brown woman. Like, that was the general consensus. She was a woke brown woman that had a history of dealing with, like, advocacy for sexual abuse. Well, I guess you'd say against sexual abuse. And so she was compromised. That was the video. So
yeah, that's one of the reasons why we're going to be watching.
So let's think about this. After receiving a 10-year
who the fuck was that guy? Was he watching it in support?
Protection order, where the judge found reasonable grounds that Tectone had committed stalking and SA, he is now sending hit pieces against his ex-girlfriend to other streamers where they are pretty openly doxing her and not redacting any info. This is true in TBYS and Legal Mindset's case. It is a violation of the protective order to use a third party to harass a protected person. So if Tectone is facilitating this with other creators, he could be in some serious trouble before this is all said and done. But
He should be, but that, I mean, yeah, that sounds like something that would violate his fucking the protective order, right? 10 years. So she should go after him again. What's so fucked up is that she's probably like stressing because it's one of those things where it's like she's probably so over it. It's probably really difficult emotionally to go to court over your like ex-boyfriend abuser. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where she won the court case, probably just like, I'm just going to move on and try to move on, even if Tectone's going to still harass her in different ways. So it's fucked up for her because now if she wants to go back, and she would probably be successful, I think, or at least there's a reasonable chance, she's going to have to like relive all the fucking trauma of dating this piece of shit.
BYS and Legal Mindset's case, I personally believe there is just more for them to gain in defending Tectone and trying to obfuscate certain aspects of the case we talked about today. Tectone co-created Mythic Talent, he has many different connections in the space, and remains friends with creators like Asmongold. Being closer to those networks is obviously beneficial for people operating in that ecosystem. This case is not your typical run-of-the-mill accusations online case. We have medical records proving there were injuries sustained during the alleged act, with numerous references to the incident by the accused. This makes it all the more depraved to me that people are so willing to just obfuscate details of a rape case in order to get ahead online. It's about as slimy as it gets, really. Tectone, of course, utilizing these people to attack his ex-girlfriend, who now has a protection order, really goes to show the pattern of behavior and only reinforces some of the reasons the protection order was granted in the first place. Both Tectone's ex-wife and ex-girlfriend have accused him of SA. In my first video,
I wonder, I guess there's a, what is it? The other ex, the first ex, Freem. They had like some kind of NDA going on where she got $30,000. Because if that didn't exist, couldn't she just come forward? I mean, does an NDA even protect against fucking like some kind of abuse? Right? So like, I mean, she could still come forward even though she has an NDA. I mean, you can't say don't disclose that I raped you or it's like, something illegal to you. But if she came forward, that would be even bigger for like a lawsuit if there was a follow-up. That could be interesting. You still have family members who watch Asmongold. They watch him since the World of Warcraft days. That's interesting. I think the only person I know who maybe watches Asmongold or knows of him is my wife's best friend's brother. But I don't think he really keeps up. He's also a cop, so maybe he does. I don't know. I don't know.
Laid out a timeline and multiple examples of Tectone lying to show why viewers should be more open-minded about what may have happened with his partners. Now we also have medical records documenting bodily harm and Tectone himself admitting on camera that the injury occurred during a sexual act. That kind of documented injury can function as an aggravating factor and strengthen a finding of liability. There are only so many occurrences that can happen before giving someone the benefit of the doubt becomes untenable. So it's not just my personal opinion that Tectone did these things, but given the repeating pattern with his ex-wife and ex-girlfriend, I fully expect this type of behavior from him to continue.
Yeah, and I wholeheartedly believe that he did these things. He's a piece of shit. Pieces of shit do be pieces of shit, dude.
Given how Tectone has handled losing his case and coordinating with other creators to attack Pink using third parties, it would not surprise me in the slightest.
Yeah, I mean, if he's sending that video around and he's giving legal mindset information, allegedly. Yeah. And then he's having them on their stream and getting him mythic talents. So, dude, this guy definitely abuses his power. Dude, there's no way he didn't fucking abuse his power. Dude. Like, even with, there's no way. He's just throwing his fucking weight around like it's a good thing to do. I don't do it because I have a lot more weight and I know it would hurt. I'm not trying to hurt people. But as late great Rob said, dude, just put your belly on her back. Am I right?
There is further and greater fallout from all this. We'll just have to wait and see what the future holds.
I don't think it's going to hold anything right now. Unfortunately, we're still in that like sphere where it's okay to be a predator or an abuser because like MAGA is politically popular and relevant, and they are okay with like abuse, any type of abuse. They don't care. They don't care. They just don't care. Just people they don't be caring. It's some pretty fucked up shit.
Thanks for watching. Peace.
Wow. Thanks to RD, Miss K, Cause, incredible. Anus. Okay. Well, Listen, man, this guy makes some pretty solid shit, so I'll give him a like. And I know he likes me a lot, so I'm gonna get him a mythic contact. I'm gonna get him a mythic talent contact. Why do I think he's so obsessed with her? I think, like Pink Chew, I mean, one, she speaks negatively about him and exposes him for being a piece of shit. I think that's one of it. I also think it's because he hates women, and he sees a representation of bad women in her, even though I don't think that that's true. He's at a point now where he likes, like, he looks at, he's a fresh and fit viewer. Does that make sense? Like, people who watches Fresh and Fit, people who hate women, but then they buy and they heavily consume OnlyFans of women. That is a Fresh and Fit. That is Tectone, and I think that's part of it as well. So they make, she makes him look bad. She's obsessed with he's obsessed with OnlyFans girls. I think that those would be these different reasons why, in my opinion, of course. So, but yeah, good video, man.